Yo, 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 yo. Wisdom Talk Podcast. Episode 8? Yeah, episode 8. God damn. I want to say... No, episode 9. God damn, fuck me, huh? We got to blooper that. No, don't blooper that. Keep that shit. Episode 9, just to show that we have been on this shit for a minute. We got my boy Junyanii, my co-host, out here. He already showing that shit live in the flesh, dog, on IG, on social. Just to show what time we on when we on this shit. Saturday afternoon / evening from 5 p.m. to 7. We shoot these live sessions. And I'm the main host, this is my co-host. We're partners in crime. Cousins, biologically and all. So, I got me.
Yes, sir.
Right? It's your boy H20, Cameron Goon, Gordon, all that. With my cousin Junyanii. Go ahead. Plug yourself in. Of course, you know what it is.
What up, though? What up, though? I know that's real Detroit of me. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the D. You know what I mean? Pause.
Yeah, for real.
Pause. You know,
we don't swing like that.
Pause.
No,
Pause. Nah, but yeah, what up? What's good with it? Junyanii. The Junyanii on Instagram. Junyanii on Twitter. Recognize Entertainment LLC Facebook.
Look at the merch on the table.
Merchandise on the table.
That's what time we on now. We ain't playing around no more. We're gonna be promoting our shit on our shit.
On the table.
Yes, sir. Yep.
I need to hit me up. DM me. DM your boy.
I'm getting a hat tonight myself. Damn right.
Yes, sir. Y'all want to order some of that? DM me, and I will personally directly ship your orders out. Whatever you need. I'm gonna start posting more pictures of shit as we go. Eventually get a website where I can distribute the shit and, you know, plaster it on the internet and stuff like that. So you can order it straight from a website eventually, but we're gonna get there. We getting there. We getting there.
You know it. So what are we gonna start with today, man? Shit. All right. There's some stuff that we are already gonna talk about the last podcast that we didn't get to. So I'm just gonna go straight to the point. Zion Williamson. I'm just gonna say this straight up. I think he's like 23, 24, something like that. By now, like about 23. Let's just say 23. Imagine you're a 23-year-old multi-millionaire, and you're over here simping, paying off. I say simping because like you have a whole nother woman that's pregnant. You're over here paying off this stripper, sex worker, whatever the fuck she is. It's some form of sex work, and you're paying her off for her time and service. Why you have a whole nother woman pregnant?
See, my thing is where's the OG-ness?
Exactly.
Where's the guidance, so to speak, to like pull his coat? You know what I mean? I feel like that art is lost in today's generation more so than it was like back in like maybe the 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Even. Like I feel like there was still a sense of pulling the young boy's coat. Be like, hey bro, come here.
Look,
hey, don't do that sucker shit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
The reason why he brings up the times where that was more prevalent and normal was because like older players were mentors to the younger players back in those times. Like even like the young up and coming star, there's always those older veterans that are like in their 30s plus, already settled down, have wife and kids to help guide those young, high potential players towards the path not to go down. But like nowadays, they don't have that no more. Because like they exile those type of players if they're not just good enough. But like back in those days, those were the player coaches.
Right.
The ones that might not get a lot of PT, but they're on the team for wisdom for like influence and like just to like help guide those younger souls that are just gonna get lost in the sauce, and they don't enable that anymore. That's generally speaking.
You know, I think it goes to something. I agree with that, but let me build on that. I think it goes to a bigger picture problem, which is, who's to say that Zion Williamson himself is not like a low value dude?
Oh,
and he's just a low value dude that has money.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And see, him being low value, what are you going to attract? What type of women are you going to attract if you are a low value dude and you haven't really you've been smoke screened, so to speak, with money, right? Who's to say that you haven't worked on yourself enough to be able to get a higher value woman? You see what I'm saying? So I feel like Zion Williamson himself is a low value dude with money, hence why he was messing with porn star chick.
Yeah.
Her in her mind, in her own mind, she feels like she's higher value than what she really is.
It's a great, valid ass point.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why he attracted someone like that, in my opinion, because of he just got smoke screened by the money.
Well,
and now, and check this out, the girl that he got pregnant was on some like, what's it called? Like basically credit fraud scam. Basically, I think if I'm correct, like she was on some shit like that, which taking credit identity or something like that.
Yeah, like a scammer.
Basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's over here just dibbling and dabbling with low value women. You know what I'm saying? Like,
need I remind you why he's like injured, because this man is highly injury prone because he lacks discipline and he doesn't know how to watch his weight.
And this nigga's eating all them po' boys. And, you know what I'm saying? All them po' boys.
Po' boys, what's that? Beignets and gumbo.
Cafe du Monde. Whatever they play. If I'm saying it right. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but Cafe du Monde. Fucking the shrimp po' boys and the fried catfish. I don't like, man. Me personally, I don't like this. I'm not a shrimp fan because of cholesterol. I don't eat bottom feeding fish. It reflects on that nigga. Look at him. You know what I'm saying? He can't keep it. Hey, and that's another thing. Kind of relevant from the topic. That's another thing. This is what we're here for. This is another thing. You know when he signed his extension, his contract extension, they had a weight stipulation on it. You know that?
Yeah, no, that's why I brought it up. That's why I brought it up.
I think it was like you have to stay under like 290.
It was like 290. Yeah.
How can you not stay under 290?
And then it got to like 307 or something, 318 or something. Like 290. Charles Barkley had the same issue. He stayed. That's what humbled him. That's what humbled him. And in Charles Barkley's time, it was like 265 or some shit. Right. It was even as much as 290 that Zion got.
Yeah. And my thing is, bro, you get paid millions of dollars to play a game. Basketball. How can you not hire the best trainers? It's not going to hurt your pockets to have the best trainers, always have the best
LeBron
food.
pays $1 million for his.
That's what I'm saying. And
just $1 million a year?
And look how good he is. It shows.
At 38.
It shows.
Yeah, like $1 million for these type of people.
Bruh.
Multi-millionaires? Come on.
Bruh.
Nothing, bro. When it comes towards the longevity of your actual career, your actual profession.
I'm telling you.
That shit is crazy. Like, I want to play a part. I want to play this little segment that I got. One of my homies tagged me in it, and he was like, "This is so on." So I'm gonna make this point right here, real quick. I just audio, so you can just hear the audio.
Make Zion Williamson out to be an embarrassment, but I believe him to be a victim. Nobody ever wants to talk about how these grown women are preying on young athletes because they have money and an opportunity to come off on someone that they believe to be impressionable. Zion Williamson is 23 years old and I think has upwards of $100+ million. What is a 23-year-old man with $100 million gonna do? Other than chase buns. You know what I'm saying? Other than chase buns. Those niggas when they 18, 25 don't even have $100 million and what they doing? Chasing buns. Now I got $100+ million and the world is my oyster, for a lack of better words. Just like LaMelo Ball, Anna Montana, his girlfriend, she's 30-something years old. This nigga was 19. Why nobody talking about that? PJ Washington and Brittany Renner, like all these other situations. Why are we talking about how these grown-ass women are preying on these young men and then we trying to embarrass them like, this what you had me doing? This nigga's a victim. I don't care.
And then with that being said, that's just a segment right there. And I agree with that to an extent. The last part, him being the victim, he's still a grown adult, but he makes valid points.
There's some. I agree with the premise of that video. I agree with that, but at the same time, again, it goes back to my initial. If Zion Williamson had some OG-ness type of energy to kind of pull his coat, some player, you see what I'm saying? So again, I think it's a combination of lack of guidance. I think it's a combination of that plus older women being hit to the game, being predators and preying on these ignorant. I mean, I'm not saying uneducated, ignorant young basketball bachelor players that got millions of dollars. And they're just looking at that as a bag. Yeah. You're a walking bag. You're literally a bag with arms and legs attached to a bag, and that's all they see when you're walking. That's all they see, right? So,
it is what it is. Like, if you had that male figure, like, look, this is the thing. Also, Kevin Durant and LeBron grew up in single mom households, but they found their mentors in their coaches or like someone that was there for them early on. If it wasn't their like direct high school coach, it was like an AAU coach. Like LeBron was his high school coach. KD was his AAU coach. But these guys stuck with them throughout their childhood, into their careers and everything else. And that impact of that older male figure that knows better made that impact for them to not go down that same route that Zion is going.
But you know what about LeBron too? LeBron had a team. Like, he had a group of people that he stuck with since high school, bro.
Rick Paul.
Maverick. Rich Paul. All these guys are, and look at how successful they've become.
Exactly. As a byproduct.
Right. You're right. So they all they all basically were like, hey, LeBron, you're going to make it. You know, you're the homie in the group, in our circle. So when you make it, basically LeBron did that old school thing where you bring everybody up with you.
Yeah.
And everybody role.
We all eat.
Right. Everybody role was like, look, you contribute and do this and you do that. And I'm the basketball player. I'm going to generate the income for us. When I do, I'm going to divvy it up to what your skills are, what your skills are, what you want to do. And make sure you're productive about it. And look, he's stuck with that team. That's why LeBron is so. I'll give LeBron that. I'll give LeBron that. He did it right. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
He did it right.
Because it wasn't just like carrying his friends along for the ride, but all his friends contribute. Right. They bring something.
Right. And they've kept it tight.
And they kept it tight.
You know, they had.
You got the agent, you got the manager homie, you got the agent homie. Right. They're like, they all are big, intricate parts to a point where they made their own careers and are agents and managers for other people outside of their homeboy.
And they understand that it's not just about the individual, it's about the collective.
It's a team effort.
It's a machine that they're operating, right? It's a unit, right?
Exactly. So, you're only as strong as your weakest.
There you go.
Yeah, it is a machine. It's a system.
And you know who else did that too? But in a different way, Dame Dash at Rockefeller. Like, that was Dame Dash's mentality too.
That's a sleeper right there.
Dame Dash, he had the same blueprint out. I guess you could say LeBron took that from Dame Dash
on some shit.
You know,
on some shit.
Indirectly. You know what I'm saying?
Some shit.
So, hey. You know
that's a piece Big L because like
you already know.
And then like Jay-Z, the big Benny Siegels and so on, Memphis Bleaks and all that. Yeah. Freeway, all of them.
Kanye from that.
You can say Kanye as well. Rockefeller.
He's
all that shit, bro.
Right.
Exactly. Loyalty is something, bro. And never forget where you come from.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Speaking of, since we're on the music topic, man, on the way over here, I was jamming Redman. I think it was his first album. It's called Muddy Waters. Bro, that shit is hard. Listen, when you jam, because you know how some rappers always talk about Redman. Yeah, always like talk about how Redman is like one of the dopest, illest MCs.
Because he was ahead of his time as far as what he was talking about subliminally.
Right, and the way he spit and his style and everything. And like artists always bring up, they always say Redman's a sleeper. Like, everybody talks about Method Man.
Yeah, I know, of course, because Method Man's flow is more relatable.
It's smoother. He came from Wu-Tang.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So,
exactly, and that too.
But shit, the Eminems of the world, the fucking
Redman, I guess.
But
like you're talking about like
Snoop Dogg. All these artists exhibit. All these people. I can just keep going on and on. All these New York artists, Busta Rhymes. Jadakiss, Styles P, they all talk about, they all mention Redman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm just saying, Muddy Waters. Check that shit out, man.
Because
it's a classic.
I know a bit about Muddy Waters because like he was talking about the shit that was going on in the industry, like behind closed doors,
right?
And he was putting that shit in songs and music videos back in that mid to late 90s. Shit.
Yeah, bro.
Then, he was doing that shit, and that shit was controversial back then because they were thinking that he was selling his soul to the devil, but he's talking about the people who sell their soul to the devil.
Right.
Literally.
Yeah.
Use your critical thinking. You can read between the lines and you see the bigger picture.
Yeah, man.
Crazy.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna mention this while we're talking about Zion. Literally that's the same draft class as John Morant. PJ Washington.
You sure is.
What's his name? Jordan Poole.
What's up with that draft?
What's up with that draft class, dog? It just comes to show you, dog, what we're heading towards, man. It's like you see patterns aren't a coincidence. And it's like, damn, what's the common denominator when it comes to these draft classes and these kids coming up? If it ain't showing off a gun on live streams, then it's getting strippers or sex workers pregnant while you already got another girl pregnant, or like getting caught up with a sex worker pregnant and getting caught up, or end up having a child with like PJ Washington shit, having a child with a girl that's known for being a Instagram thought, already slept with Colin Kaepernick and Ben Simmons of the world, and you get her pregnant and have a child with her, and surprise, it doesn't work out. Like, you have the Jordan Pooles who has this inflated ego, gotta get punched on by Draymond Green at practice just to be humbled. Like, you are not that nigga. It's just like on and on and on and on. It's like, damn, like, you can see the path towards these younger athletes. And like it has a lot to do with their upbringing. I'm just gonna be honest.
That's facts.
It has a lot to do with their upbringing. They're coddled. They're coddled. These kids nowadays are getting coddled. Like I'm a firm believer that our generation is the last generation of kids that actually got disciplined, like to a point where you might get beat, but you definitely get grounded. You get punished. Like, you know, there's repercussions for your shit. It was just like, but like nowadays, it's like. I'm going to tell you what you did wrong, and then let bygones be bygones.
Right.
And that doesn't work, as you can see. I'm just saying. I'm just going to call it like that. So, like, I'm like, you don't have to beat your child, but you got to punish your child.
Right.
And, like, not just, like, punish your child and lecture them for the moment, but, like, punish your child towards a term, like, okay, it's recurring. Like, okay, a week grounded, a month grounded. Like, you take their games away. You do something like deprive them of something, and like you never fold when they're like, oh, come on, I learned my lesson now, and then you fold and give them back their shit. No, you punish them. You keep your punishment. You stay on your ground. Stay grounded. And if you're gonna be a parent, you gotta stay grounded and disciplining your kids. It's not all nurturing. You gotta nurture and discipline. It's a balance.
And you know, I'm gonna say this too, like, because when the whole John Morant thing first got its inception into the public eye about how he was tripping, you know, with the gun and all that, Shannon Sharp kept bringing up the point, like, you know, when you're the breadwinner of the house, you know, who's to say, well, how can his dad? Basically, he was trying to imply that like his dad can't really do shit because his dad don't make the most money in the household. But my thing is like, his dad still doesn't have to co-sign that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
His dad is Shannon Sharp is kind of making it seem like, and I like Shannon Sharp, by the way. Shout out to Shannon Sharp. But I'm just saying I didn't agree with that point where he was you know, you know, he can't really do nothing. But it's like
you're enabling it.
Right. See, my thing is like, as a parent, you can make it a point to your son, like, I don't give a damn how much money you got. I'm not rocking with that shit. I don't co-sign it. I don't rock with it. You're wrong. You know, you could teach him a lesson no matter what. He can take what he wants to do with it. He can take it how he wants it. But it seems like his dad is more so going along with it because he got the money.
It's I've seen it firsthand with his dad. Like, his dad's always courtside. He's taking pictures with Usher and being like, oh yeah, we're looking like all that shit.
See, if I was in his
dad, like, even when Shannon Sharp was courtside that Lakers game when LeBron was trying to break the record and they got into it, his dad was defending him and the team. Like, his dad was over here trying to get in Shannon's face too. And like, Shannon had to bring it back to earth, like, hey man, we're both fathers. Like, you're on the wrong side here right now. You have your young ass son son trying to bark at this old ass nigga like me. And you over here taking your young ass son's side? Like, don't you see what's wrong here? And like, it's just the point of the picture. Like, even Shannon saw it in that moment, but then Shannon at the same time is the same person who's like justifying that bad behavior.
Right.
As his dad, because he's not the breadwinner. It's like, it's crazy how shallow things like finances is going to ignore the fact that that child came from that father. And he should be able to say something to his child when his child is acting up. Doesn't matter how much money he makes. Right. You only exist because of me. That should conquer all if I'm not a bad person.
Right. And he, like I said, his dad was just going along with it too much. His dad was just making it seem like just because he's got all that money, then it's okay. I'm just gonna turn a blind eye, basically.
Yeah.
And that to me is whack. He's a whack ass dad for that shit.
He is.
Like, real talk. Like, if I was the dad of Ja Morant, I'd be like, listen, nigga, I don't give a fuck how much money you got. I don't give a damn. You know what I mean? I don't rock with that shit. I don't.
No.
I'm not gonna go to none of your games just to prove a point. I can watch some TV if I really want to watch it. That's fine. I'm not gonna go to your games. I'm not gonna co-sign you. I don't rock with that shit. And if anybody asks me, media or whatever, I'm gonna tell him. I'm like, he's a grown ass man. He's doing his thing. I don't agree with what he's doing. I'm not gonna co-sign it. I've tried to have talks with him, and it is what it is. I'm his dad, but he's still a grown man. At the end of the day, he's gonna make his decisions.
That's a great point.
That'd be the moral thing to do, right?
That's a great moral,
the just thing to do. But he ain't doing it. He's doing it. He's just like, man, fuck it. You know what I mean? 200 mil.
Shit. Because every time I don't even remember seeing his dad's eyes. The nigga always got shades on. Because he's just living the limelight off of his son. And it's like, that's a great point. A real parental figure that doesn't agree with their child's methods is not gonna support that child. Like, they're not gonna be at the games.
Right.
They're not gonna be like, and if they are appearing in media, they're gonna be against the things that their child is doing. They're gonna be like, I love my son, but I don't agree with how my son's carrying himself.
Right.
That's how it would literally be for those authentic parents that have morals and integrity and know what's right and wrong.
Yeah,
that's literally.
You see how money does though. Money.
That's sad.
Money. It compromises morals, integrity. It makes people do shit that they typically wouldn't do. That's why they always say.
I've seen it firsthand.
That's why they say money is the root of all evil. That's why some people call money the devil, because the devil is literally, money is the devil will make you do shit for things that you wouldn't typically do. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I literally seen this firsthand. Like, even the people closest to me that I grew up, like family members or friends, especially family members that I know better, they don't want to like openly agree with what, like, prime example, what we talk about, the type of shit that we would post, me and my cousin would post on Facebook, and the type of shit that we'll talk on this podcast. Some of the realest family members that know that what we're saying is real, rather stay on the more politically correct side for the dollar. Literally what's going on. It's literally what's going on. And I'm not even going to start to mention names, but they know it's like that close to us. Like, literally siblings, not let alone cousins, are literally doing that. And like, they're choosing the dollar and their clientele over what's real and sincere. And I honestly am a firm believer that you can still stay true to yourself and at the same time respect your business side of things at the same time.
I think that, don't you think that's a form of like selfishness?
Yeah, no, it is.
I think, don't you think it's selfish? Because
it is.
If you know if you know what's morally just, and you know that if you rock with the moral just, that it's gonna kind of compromise what you got going on already. But you don't want to rock with the moral just. You'd rather keep your comfortable zone.
Facts.
At the expense of the truth. At the expense at people that could benefit from you not rocking with the wrong. That look up to you or look at you as an example. The fact that you're willing to just fuck all that, turn a blind eye to that, and just keep your bubble and keep your shit going, keep your job, keep your 9 to 5, keep your, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there's a sense of selfishness rooted in that. Don't you think?
Oh, I know.
Don't you think?
There's a level of narcissism with that. Because by definition of what narcissism is self-righteousness and appealing to the social norms. Right. That is, in summarization, what it is. Mm-hmm. So you're choosing to make sure you're good by the standards of society over what is right and wrong. Because society is not always going to be right. Because society is human-based, and humans are all flawed. We're all flawed. So it's like crazy to see it in wherever real-life vision, like 4K, 8K. That's one thing, but like to see it as vivid as reality and see it through your own lens is like crazy.
And it kind of is that prime example of, well, shit, it ain't affected me, so
exactly.
Like, I don't care.
That's always the argument.
But see, some people won't, wear that type of emotion and swagger on their sleeve like that. Mm-hmm. But their actions, their nonchalantness about just looking the other way, that's selfishness.
Yeah, like they might not say that. They might not say it openly, but they're showing it. Actions speak louder than words, and they literally are living that type of way, even though they don't say it. Mm-hmm. Like, man, it's crazy because like one of my homies that had called me before I even started heading out this way, he called me, and we ended up talking for like 30 minutes plus, and he's like, he was in the rave scene like me and all that, and he lost his religion and went more atheist for some time, but then it wasn't until like he also has a son, and he knows who I'm talking about. I know he's gonna watch this episode, and he has a son. His son just turned 5. He starts having revelations and starts seeing the bigger picture towards like there's a higher being and everything else, and like he sees the bigger picture and like he sees everybody else deflecting, but then they want to more fit the norms, and whenever they hear those tough conversations towards like what's going on in society and what's wrong and right, they just kind of deflect it and try and don't want to accept it, and that it conflicts with the way they're living, so they just deflect and don't want to accept it. They try to push down that and just try to change the topic in ways and everything else. But like those who know better and can't ignore what's going on in our modern day society. And that's why we have shit like Wisdom Talk podcast, because like we can't just talk like how we're talking right now normally in the general public. Even on social media, they still shun us to some degree.
I mean, when you get to a certain level though, like if you're on that like, the Rock level or Mayweather or Kevin Hart level, don't just name random people. Yeah. But when you get to a status like that, we'll go artists like Drake or, Jay-Z, but Jay-Z don't really talk in the public eye like that. But you get what I'm saying though, right? When you get to a certain level, you have fuck you status where you could just say whatever the fuck you want. It ain't gonna really hurt you. It ain't gonna really matter. You still gonna make, $1 million in the week anyway by just walking around and living based on your investments or whatever else you got going on. So, but that's what I'm saying. When you get to a certain level, you can say you don't have to give a fuck. I mean, I don't give a fuck now.
Kanye's a great example of that. I also don't give a fuck now. Even before, I don't fuck where before in life. I've been not giving a fuck.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying that to say like, listen, people. I'm not saying that to say that I give a fuck, because I'm gonna still speak my mind. I'm just gonna still be me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a damn. But there's a lot of people out here that
do give a damn.
They walk on that shit or teeter-totter that line.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? But you're saying Kanye is a good example. Yeah, Kanye, he's been back and forth for a decade with how he wants to portray himself, right? But now
it's not like we all. I just want to say that it's not like what Kanye says is gospel. Right? It's not great to be off as a rocker, but generally speaking, go ahead.
Yeah, but Kanye, he's at a point now where he's like, man, I don't give a damn. I think he's setting that now because he's a billionaire 9 times over. You don't
have to worry about his finances.
He's got land in Wyoming. You know what I mean? He owns I'm not saying literally, but the amount of land he owns in Wyoming is just absurd.
And that's just one state.
So like he's a dope. He's one of the greatest producers of all time, in my opinion. Straight up.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
One of the greatest fucking producers
for sure
ever
in our generation, for sure.
No, of all time.
All time, yeah. You know, low key, all time, yes.
No,
yes.
Absolutely.
I was gonna say top 5 in our generation, but easily I could say top 10 all time.
Yeah,
easily I could say top 10. Just being honest, just being considerate.
He's me out of all time. I put him in my top 5, no matter, it doesn't matter.
No matter what era.
I put Kanye in top 5. I'm being real
for that. I don't blame you for
Yeah,
that.
he's top 5.
He is a musical genius.
Yeah,
you can't ignore that just because of how you might feel towards certain views.
Right.
I can never get past that. He's a musical genius.
Right.
I even said that shit when the homegirl Michelle, aka Butch Barbie, was on last week. Like before you even walked in,
almost threw me off for a second. I was like, Butch Barbie.
I gave her that name. I gave her that name.
Sounds like an artist. I was like, what the fuck is Butch Barbie?
But yeah, I mentioned that too because we started talking about Kanye early on, and she's not really a fan of Kanye like that. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I openly even said then, even though I was being biased towards my homegirl, I'm not gonna lie, but nonetheless, I was like, yeah, he could be off his rocker. I don't agree with all this shit, but he cannot deny that he's a musical genius. Like, yeah, I mean, he is a musical savant.
Yeah,
like,
facts.
He is.
Facts.
Like, he's very words due.
He's bipolar. I mean,
yeah, exactly. I mentioned that bipolar shit too. Yeah, that's where a lot of his emotional sporadic moments. He has these moments. And that's literally what bipolar is. Like, you have your moments of rage, like, of like unstableness, and like, you come out character. It's a part of being bipolar. That is what it is. So when he does come off like, oh man, this nigga crazy, that is just him being bipolar. That is generally just that.
And I've heard, and the only reason why I say he's bipolar is because I've heard Dame Dash say it in different.
No, he openly even admitted on that shit.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he admitted on it, and then that was even before the Netflix. That had his shit. He admitted on that shit. Okay. So like you can see it firsthand on that shit, and even before that, he admitted it. Like he admitted it on multiple platforms. Like yes, he didn't find out until later in his career, but yes, he's bipolar. And like Dame Dash got to see it firsthand because he worked with the motherfucker. So Dame Dash as seasoned as he is would know. Mm-hmm. So like he was probably one of the first people that opened his eyes towards, hey, check out to see if you are bipolar, because he gave me bipolar vibes off of my experience of dealing with motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. So, yes, the nigga is bipolar. So that's why if you think Kanye is crazy, it's just him being bipolar. Mm-hmm. But when you read between the lines of his bipolarness and actually listen to the messages, what he's talking about and what he's done, he knows what he's talking about. He ain't stupid. He ain't crazy. The motherfucker knows his shit.
Right.
And here's a controversial shit. Damn it. I'm only doing this because it's gonna be something that might be risky to talk about. Because we know about them boys. Them boys. Them boys. What's happening? When I say them boys, shout out to Fresher Fit. Them boys. Them boys. That damn podcast that he was on when he said Hitler's not that bad. Which is
you talking about yeah he was tripping with that.
Yeah, he was tripping with that. He was tripping with that. But I know what he was trying to say, because Hitler's point, as extreme as it was not controllable. He's wrong. Mm-hmm. But he was going after certain people that he knew had certain power that we can relate to nowadays, that is actually manipulating the narrative of what we're going through now. These same people. I didn't even say who it was, but I'm just saying it is what it is. I'm not saying they're evil, but it is what it is.
I think Kanye said that it was rooted in justifying his emotion towards a certain sector of people.
Yeah, it was only
that have their hands pretty damn deep in media and entertainment and all that. Exactly. So when he said Hitler wasn't that bad, he was saying that out of emotion
towards those certain people.
Yeah, to rectify, like, hey, Hitler wasn't that bad because of what he was doing to the Jews who have all this power over black people. that are affecting black. He was doing it.
It's not all.
He was trying. It was a weird way to try and connect the dots.
Exactly.
He shouldn't have did it like that.
Extreme.
But yeah, it was an extreme way to kind of connect some loose ass dots. But I could see what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
I still don't agree with it. I don't agree too. No, Hitler was
because like
he was trash.
I know enough.
Hitler was whack.
I know enough
because Hitler was sending black people to the chambers.
Exactly.
There was black people in Germany too, where he was like he was gathering all of us up.
Yeah, he was like Hitler was such an extremist that he was with the long hair, blue eyes.
He's a white supremacist.
Yeah, exactly. He was like on that agenda.
White supremacy.
Exactly. So the whole point is that he's sexualizing this group of people that, of course, Holocaust focuses on, not ignoring the fact that it was more than just those type of people, but he was just addressing those type of people because of the type of people that he's dealt with in his career. And it's a reflection of that. Not towards the whole masses of all them people. He's basically those certain type of people in that position.
Yeah, because Kanye was so crazy at the fact that Jews control most of entertainment and media. So he's like, and Kanye's man, Hitler's not that bad because he was doing what he was doing to the Jews, and look how the Jews affect black people.
Exactly.
You see how he see, you did that wrong, Kanye. You should have did that. Like that.
Now you're putting all of them in that space.
Right. Yeah.
I met with some Jewish people. I even work with Jewish people, and they're nothing like what Kanye was portraying.
Right. Hitler was whack. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Across the board.
It was terrible.
He was fucking up black people too. Okay, yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly. You know what I mean? So he was just another historical stint of white supremacy that happened. Okay. So that's what it is. But yeah, man.
Oh shit.
Oh, so
what's up?
You know the comedian Godfrey?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so he has his own
man looking at him.
He has his own podcast, and
I like his shit every now and then. I don't watch the podcast, but I see clips.
Yeah, right. Me too. Yeah. So he had this East Indian guest on there. I don't know if he's a comedian or I don't know what he's known for, but I forgot his name. But this East Indian dude, was trying to basically say that India, there's no racism in India, and they're not people from India are not racist towards black people. I'm like, bruh.
I'm like this guy.
When I heard that shit, I was like, yo, those motherfuckers be darker than us. If he's trying to be the most allied allegiance to white supremacy carrying dudes and women. You know what I mean?
Like, I would agree with what you're saying because, like, I don't know how it is when you're living in India, but the Indian people I know that I've encountered,
the cab drivers, the gas station owners, the cab drivers. Yeah. And keep in mind, I know this dude. He's the
people who drive BMWs. My workplace, I get that shit as a big black guy that's really African and all that shit. I feel you.
No, but they have a certain stigma towards black people, man. Mm-hmm. Especially black people in America, because when they come here, it's like Africans with us. It's like a lot of African people when they come here, they have a certain stigma towards black folks that are already here in America.
My mom and she was racist the other day. Just because. She said she wasn't. Of course.
What about
I'm just like exactly. But I'm like, whenever you're talking about like black people, like, you're always focusing on the ones that grew up in the hood in a negative content. Negative, akata is a terrible term.
Derogatory.
It's really derogatory. You're saying the motherfucker's ignorant and they don't know no better. And it specifically is towards black people. When you use akata, you're not saying akata towards white people or Spanish people or Hispanic, Latino, Middle Eastern, Asian.
Black folks.
It's always towards black people that you use the terms akata. So I just asked my mom, but my mom's perspective is more like the black people that become more sophisticated and come out the hood is the ones that she's not racist towards, but the ones that are stuck in their ways, she has no sympathy.
But I mean, that's the difference between, you got black people and then you got niggas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's black folks and then there's niggas.
Yeah.
Okay? You got white people, you got trailer park trash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got,
on and on.
You got Hispanics, and then you got
Home Depot.
Then you got Then you got their. I don't want to say.
Home Depot.
Is it?
So that's the low end version of Hispanics and Latinos are the Home Depot lows, the ones that are sitting outside just waiting for an opportunity, or the ones that aren't even doing shit for themselves at all. Doesn't want to learn English or nothing.
Everybody. Ethnic group, because there's only two races. You got white and black, right? Ethnicity, that's when you have the multiple different. You got Hispanic, Chinese, East Indian. Those are ethnicities. Those aren't races. Okay, so every ethnic group has their own trash. Okay,
Bombs.
They have their good side. They have their yin, and then they have their yang. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So back to your mom.
Yeah.
You got black people and you got niggas.
Yeah.
I don't like niggas.
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't.
You know what I'm saying? I don't rock with that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I don't think any
I'm just being
level-headed person likes niggas. Like, it's in general. Because like no one likes an ignorant person of any race or ethnicity or wherever you want. Like any ethnicity that's ignorant as fuck, no one rocks with them. Right. And that's what. Unfortunately, ignorant black people are niggas.
And I love, just to make it clear, I love black people.
I love black people. I always talk about I love my black queens, my Nubian black queens. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Go ahead. But I don't like dusty ass niggas. Yeah, bum your ass, some fucking crash dummy, dusty ass, fool in the paint ass niggas.
The ones that use their upbringing as their excuse for their bad behavior. Right. I am anti that because I've seen enough people that grew up in Section 8 living, single parent households that flip that narrative. That you can't use that as your crutch. Oh, well, it's because my dad was never around, or man, it was because I never had this and that. I bet it must be nice that you have this and that, because I would never relate to that. But when you become an adult, you can make your own choices. You make your own decisions. You have your own occupation. If you're not feeling, which is also your choice to go that route of crime, if you do live your life accordingly, the world is your oyster, especially the country of USA is your oyster. You have all the same opportunities as the next person.
I mean, that's how they present it to us, but No,
of course there's going to be prejudice. There's that too. There is going to be prejudice upon race and who you know. Right. That's going to always be a thing, but like, don't let that dictate like your choices in life. Like, of course, the cards might be stacked against you just because you're black. But then that should even be more motivation that I'm gonna beat this. Like, fuck all that shit. I'm not gonna let this shit just defeat me. Yes, sir. Fuck you. And I could even flex on that even more because I know that these odds were against me. And I still flip the script.
And that's why, to a certain degree, I don't get mad at black people for stunting as hard as they do sometimes. Yeah. Because of what you just explained. Yeah. Right? Because, like, do you know how hard it took for me? I'm having to deal with systematic white supremacy. I'm having to deal with more racist situations than the next ethnic group, man or woman, right? And I still made it. Exactly. I didn't have access to resources like a lot of other ethnic groups do. I was already behind the 8 ball. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I still came out. I can relate firsthand. That's why when black people, I don't mind y'all stunting. You know what I'm saying? Because when y'all get out that mud, it's like, I don't mind it. You know what I mean? But then there's a level of balance we have to have. Now, you don't want to go overboard with it. Over the stunting, the
arrogance and acting like you're invincible,
right? And you're untouchable. Yeah. See, when you become overboard with it, then it's like, all right, nigga, calm down. Like that one nigga, the one dude, the rapper, Black Youngster. Yeah. Constantly flashing, but it's like,
that booty. Yeah, big old booty. Yeah. There's a reason why he's not as relevant.
Right, it's like, nigga, we get it. All right, you got money. Now, how about you invest and help black people in large numbers with that money? We got it. You got money. You got bread, bro. We got you. Now, let's do something constructive and productive with it.
He took what he made off of his opportunity and just ran with it and off of more shallow, materialistic, instead of like giving back to the community, and making a difference. And actually
Like
present yourself as an example.
Right. Like open up a cafeteria or like a black-owned restaurant.
Or a recreational center that has a library and open gym, like an indoor gym, like you can play basketball or lift weights.
Now I could be wrong.
I have a library too.
Right. I don't know if he had any investments like that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true too.
I don't think he did, but based on what I know,
just based off of his character,
I don't think he's the type of nigga to think like that. But
because LeBron did that. He has a whole school.
That's what I'm saying.
And he came up with single mom and all that shit. The odds was racked against from
came up from the rubble.
KD as well. Like, that's why I brought him up earlier.
Yeah.
They didn't. Like, when KD wins his MVP, you're the real MVP. Talking to his mom, like, that type of shit is not forgetting where he come from.
Right.
That's the whole purpose.
Right. That's why, I'm a believer in balanced stunting.
Exactly. I agree.
You can stunt black people, but don't do it too much. Like
I agree.
Because then you get white people looking at you like, look at these crazy niggas.
Exactly. It's true. They'll
be cool with you. They'll party with you, but when they go home, they'll be like, man, these crazy ass niggas.
Yeah.
These black people.
I literally made that post like almost a week ago. I was like, everybody has a little racism in them. I'm just gonna be honest. It doesn't make you a racist, like you hate those people, but you talk about all types of people behind closed doors.
Hold on.
Straight up.
Racist? Everybody has a little racism in them, or everybody has a little prejudice?
Prejudice. There you go.
Because there's a difference between being racist and prejudiced, right?
You're right.
Prejudice. Racism is prejudice with power.
Yeah.
Being able to affect somebody's way of life. That's racism. You know what I'm saying? Prejudice is just like if I say I don't like that Peckerwood, or I don't like this white person.
Like you actually despise those type of people.
That white person's still gonna go home, have their job, have their money, will do whatever they do. I can't affect them like that. Or I can't affect them in large numbers.
That's fact.
Racism is when you can act on your prejudice and affect them with your prejudice,
influence,
right? And affect their way of life with your prejudice.
Damn.
That's racism. You know what I'm saying? That's the real definition of racism right there.
Yep.
Now everybody's got a little prejudice in them. I mean,
that's my whole.
I just wanted to like.
No, you put in the right terminology.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, yes, racism is prejudice with power and influence, and like you're trying to bring the masses of like against that topic, that race or ethnicity that you're judging.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a great point. It is really prejudice, and everybody's
got a little bit in it. I can agree with that.
Yeah, and my point of that is that the whole after like you don't do that is bullshit. That's my whole point. It's like the people that are like, whoa, you're a terrible person when you talk about this type of person or this type of thing. That like. Nah, motherfucker. I know enough people of different ethnicities that have talked about other ethnicities behind closed doors when I'm hanging out with them to know that that's bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I appreciate the people that are not my race or ethnicity that's still talking about other ethnicities. I appreciate that because like you're keeping that all the way a buck. You're showing your true colors. Like, this is what you talk about when you're not at work. And when you are in privacy of your home, talking to your family or your spouse or whatever, fuck. You're showing your true... You trust me to that degree that you want to open up to that shows, like, I could respect you more than the other person that's acting like they're not that way. So that's my whole point with that.
Speaking of, this is leading me to another point here.
Boom. Hit that hoe.
No, it's on.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, hit that hoe. This is real shit that we're doing.
Nah, so this leads me to another point, right? I'm going back to Africa with this. This is like some historical context here. Have you ever heard like an Egyptian Arabic person or a Northern African person? A lot of them are usually Arabic. Just from the Northern African.
I think I might know where you're coming at with this.
Have you ever heard them like confidently claim like, yeah, I'm African? Have you ever heard them say that?
The only one I know.
I know
is because he was raised here. My Algerian homie. Shout out to Sammy. We call him Snow Africa. He's an artist. He was one of the people I was managing earlier on. When I started getting into the music scene, I tried to be a manager. And got into sound engineering, all that. But he's Algerian.
Okay.
So he's full Algerian, both parents.
Yeah.
And Algeria is like more northern.
Okay.
He's the only one that would claim being African before anything. Like he embraces being considered black because he is African. And like, you know, of course he used the term nigga and everything. And people look at him because he looks kind of like Spanish because of that tone. That skin tone. They're like, what the fuck is this nigga doing saying nigga? This nigga's more African than you.
Right.
He's more black than you because he's from Africa. So therefore, he's the only one I know that embraced it. But all the other ones, like you're mentioning, they are from like Morocco, Egypt, and Ethiopia, kinda. But Sudan, Morocco, Egyptian, all them, they don't really just claim Libya, exactly, Lebanese, exactly. They don't really just claim being African like that. And more Middle Eastern,
right?
They'll claim
because again, those people, the Arabic people that are there, they going back centuries, generations. It was really black people that inhabited those countries.
Yeah, wisdom talk.
You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead. I know what you're talking about. I know.
A lot of they're invaders, so to speak, from a generational standpoint.
Yeah.
So, and I'm gonna say
it was around the time that when the French took Cameroon and the British took.
Right. It was when
it was around that.
It was around when Africa was getting colonized.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. But go ahead though.
Yeah, the reason why I brought that up is because I don't know. It was a random thought. I brought it up because I think the reason why they don't want to claim it that strongly is because it connects them with the dark skinned folks. It connects them with the blackness. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? That's why I feel like because it's true. Speaking from the people the people that are from those countries that live here in the U.S., I've never heard them be like, yeah, I'm African, like with confidence, with that oomph. You know what I'm saying?
I have to guess that shit.
Yeah, you have to guess it.
Like, you don't look like you're like from like, and then like I guess the country, and I'll guess like, I'm Moroccan. Oh, you're African like me. Yeah. And then whenever I expose the fact that you're African like me, yeah. Like they concede. It's like they're conceding to the fact because I'm like because I'm Cameroonian, so you're African like me. Yeah. So you can say that. You know, I was like, damn. There's a little shame in them when they admit that. I can't do that shit right now, bro. I know, hey, I kind of.
No, I got to, we brothers. We brothers, like I can't really do the accent right now. My accent.
No, you kind of did it. You kind of did it, though. It wasn't like perfect, but I heard it. I get it, bro.
It's like, no, we're not brothers, actually. Let me give you a history lesson, sir. Let me give you a history lesson, sir. Let me give you a history.
You only admitting after I called it out.
Right. And that's my point. That is my point. Like, they just don't want to connect. And you know what? I mean, that's just another form of white supremacy, in my opinion. Because you don't want to connect with the blacks, so what are you trying to connect with?
Yeah, you're more relatable because your skin complexion is lighter, so you're gonna more relate towards the more acceptable.
I'm just saying.
Ethnicity. It's true. No, man, it's true, bro. It is very true. Like, they'd rather be more accepted upon them than us.
Right.
Even though they come from the same continent as us.
Right. But then again, at the same breath, they don't come from the same continent.
Well, yeah, they're from there, but they're not from this story.
Yeah, you're right.
But like, as of right,
like locale, like they're there now. So you're an African. If you are born there now, if you're there now, your parents are there now, you came over here, whatever, you're African by geographical locale. You're African. That's where you were at. You know what I mean? That's where your family's from.
Hey, Mohamed Salah is a great soccer player. Great footballer.
Oh yeah, he's from Morocco.
Yeah. But all that. Hey, that's an example. Like, look at him and look at us. We're all from the same continent, but it's like South Africa because Elon Musk.
Right. And Charlize Theron, the actor.
Exactly.
So she's from South Africa too.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But when they say that weird brothers? Like we're like from the same kind. Like would they relate to us?
Charlize Theron is adopting all those black babies though. She's adopting all those black babies.
I call it guilty trip.
Yeah,
I call it guilt trip.
It could be.
That's what I call it. Guilt trip.
She's adopting all those black African babies though.
Yeah, I only call it guilt trip to a degree. Of course, I can say that she definitely genuinely cares and loves and appreciates those kids, but her intentions of choosing those type of kids to a degree has a guilt trip.
Could be rooted in guilt.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
But what guilt? Where did her guilt come from though? What did she feel guilty for?
Well, just probably at a time in her life she didn't accept that reality of who she really is
or where she's really from.
Yeah, where she exactly. So off of that goes back. That's it's an acceptance. Yeah, exactly. They don't want to connect. I'm telling you. Yeah, bro. It is what it is. I'm telling you. I'm a critical thinker. I read between the lines, man. I'm more like what a person does than what they say. Actions speak louder than words,
right?
And it resonates. It's like a common denominator that you can't make this shit up.
Right.
Because, of course, people are going to try to be politically correct with this shit so they don't look so bad. Mm-hmm. But then, like, when you see what the choices they make, and it's not even about why they make it, but the choices they make, those are the actions that speak louder than the words that they're coming out the mouth. But why they made it. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. But, yeah, that Godfrey podcast was that.
No, I saw a clip of this at Godfrey podcast. He had this OG pimp dude that had all the one-liners. This fool was like saying all this slick ass pimp like shit. He said something about like something whenever you're in the graveyard and all this stuff. I wish I could pull it up because it's on like one of my homies sent it to me on TikTok. Follow us.
Oh, yeah.
Wisdom Talk Podcast. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, and many more other streaming sites to go.
Oh, yeah. Book us at Wisdom Talk Podcast. Any business inquiries, make sure you email rkmlegend19@gmail.com.
Also, if you want to be a guest,
you
can DM Wisdom Talk Podcast on Instagram.
Yep.
Send photos. Let us know when you're available. And we will get you on board. Let's go. I'm not gonna lie. I want to pull it up real quick because I just want to pull it up.
He's just saying like, man, he said like 100 one-liners. Like,
yes, he just saying then like he had Godfrey like geeking over this shit because like he was like, dude, you always say the right things at the right times. Every time it's time to say it.
You like,
and he was just like,
imagine being someone that knew all the catchphrases. Like, for example, like what's good for the goose, good for the gander.
Yes, exactly.
You met someone that knew all those types of catchphrases.
And just what everything. Listen, this is what I found it. Hold on. I'm gonna make sure it's right. I'm gonna start from the beginning. Right here.
Tell people all the time there's no bunk beds in the graveyard. Where do you get all these great things?
Exactly.
That's saying, wait, you just said what?
No bunk beds in the graveyard?
There's no bunk beds in the graveyard. You understand what that means? No. That means, you don't chase your passion. Yeah. Then you had another cold one. Yeah. There was another one you said.
Right.
Don't look at my glory, listen to my stories.
Yeah.
What? Smooth with the shit. Smooth with the shit, man. I'm
exactly.
Smooth with the shit, man.
Man, I'm trying to stay sucker free in a world full of loud.
What the fuck? I was geeking on that one. I'm like, this nigga, why does it come?
Dog, that's funny.
That was the dirtiest shit.
Like, damn, what?
Tell people.
That's hilarious. That's funny.
I was like, dude, that's the type of shit that niggas need to hear though, bro. Because it's like the type of shit that makes it.
Shit, what's good for the goose, good for the gander. But you know, what comes to the dark comes to the light.
What?
Someone just talking, connecting all the phrases and the sentences. That shit would be hilarious.
I'm telling you, bro.
That shit would be funny.
We need more old heads like that in more young bucks' lives, bro. Because that would just stabilize and neutralize all the bullshit that's going on around. Literally, bro. Because like when I was hearing that shit, like that, like my homeboy sent me that shit. I was just like, what the fuck?
Right.
What the fuck? every time he said one thing, I was like, oh shit, what? And then I'm literally reacting like Godfrey's reacting. I'm like, how do you always? So imagine being around that person all the time. And this was just a clip. He probably just got all these hoes lined up.
Right.
Multiple. Like wisdom talk shit for real, bro.
I'm telling you.
Crazy.
Just met someone just talks in nothing but catchphrases.
Right?
Or met an OG that's like, come here, young one. Young one.
Yeah, man. Let me go.
Come here, young boy.
Let me go.
Let me put you on something, man.
Yeah, man. I always appreciate my oil.
What's done in the dark will come to the light. You know what I'm saying? What's good for the goose, good for the gander, but never scrub dirty shoes in a shoe store. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, when you never go to a studio that has no mics. I don't know.
There's that type of shit though. It makes you think twice. Like, what the fuck? But it makes sense. It's like, what the fuck? Where does that come from? How you concoct that shit in your mind? Like what the fuck? Niggas a chemist on some Heisenberg, Walter White shit. Like, niggas over here concocting shit, dog. Blue magic. Frank Lucas type shit. Like, damn, this shit crazy. but you know why? It's wisdom. Like, the age brings wisdom and experience and everything, and he's just trying to bring that knowledge to the next. He's just trying to bring that shit. Like, he's just that motherfucker. That dude in that clip is literally just trying to relate, like, just trying to relay what he learned onto others. It's just rinse and repeat. Right. And like a lot of people lack that. The Zions and the John Morants lack that. Why they go through what they go through? Because they don't see the bigger picture. They're just in the moment.
Speaking of basketball, right? I was watching ESPN.
Man, sorry, I just have to say it. Yeah. Man, I'm not Miss Shannon Sharp on this either, man.
He made that show tick.
I know.
He made it go, man. I think they were trying. I saw a few people like talking about it, and they were trying to say like, they were saying that Shannon Sharp gained just as much popularity as Skip, if not more. And I'm like, if he was more popular than Skip, what the fuck?
Skip.
Skip.
Like, he already had his career.
Skip.
Exactly. He already had
LeBron James is the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Exactly. He was like, he was the LeBron spokesperson. He was the number one face of LeBron.
Skip.
I'm
telling you right now, Skip. I'm telling you right now. I'm a Hall of Fame tight end. Skip. I'm telling you right now, Skip.
Like, he already had his name. He was already a Hall of Fame tight end before the show. So the show only catapulted him higher.
Right. And he did something smart, and he did something real smart when he started his own show, Club Shay Shay.
Oh yeah,
that was a power move.
That's true.
That was a power move.
Very true. Because he's that show now, no matter what.
He owns the show, and if Fox Sports wanted to do something funny style, he'd have that to fall back on. That was a power move when he started that show, and he was smart for that.
It's fact.
And you know what? I think when he got into it with DeMar Hamlin. You remember the guy that passed out from getting the jab?
Yeah.
Pretty much. We can't say the jab. We can't really say it. We're just gonna say the jab. The jab. You know what I'm saying? The jab.
That's another conversation for another time.
We got the jab. We might have to
use another platform for that one. Like, Rumble or something.
The jizab. You know what I'm saying? Jizab. That sounds like an Arabic name. Like Jizab. I'm doing a lot. I was just hollering at Jizab the other day. You know?
Yeah, my boy Jizab Muhammad.
That was a power move. I think when the DeMar Hamlin shit went down and they got into it, I think that was the beginning of the end. Because you remember how Shannon didn't show up for the next episode. Like, he protested. You know what I'm saying?
I said between that and that whole Baker Mayfield shit.
No, the Tom Brady thing.
Disrespected.
Oh, it was Tom Brady. It was Tom Brady. When
Skip disrespected.
That was Tom Brady. Yeah, it was about Tom Brady.
Yeah, you're right. I say both of those was the beginning.
Right.
Combination of the two.
And from what I heard, Shannon basically went to the executives and was like, hey, it's either me or Skip.
And they chose Skip.
Pretty much, yeah, because Skip's the breadwinner.
Yeah, he
paid most of that network.
He's there, Stephen A. Smith.
Exactly. So good thing Shannon started that Club Shay Shay, because that was a power move. I'm glad he started it. I like his show.
He has.
I like it.
He's good at the interviews.
Yeah,
for sure on the show.
For sure.
Yeah, I was anti the episode of Steve Harvey, but in general,
right.
speaking.
I think when he was on the show Undisputed, not that I think, I'm sorry, I'm mixing my words. He was more popular than Skip.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah, a lot of people were watching for Uncle Shay.
Right, he made that the entertainment for the show.
You know, Skip was just like, he was the one that
fed off of him pretty much. So Shannon leaving, like, good. You should have left. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think Skip wants someone to challenge him as much as Shannon is.
Yeah, he did.
I think Skip is getting old right now. He is older, up there in age, but he's probably like, man, I just feel like chilling. Let me get a LaShawn McCoy who, man, I'm gonna tell you, he'd be tiptoeing. Especially when he made them
McCoy was one of my favorite running backs too.
Have you
like him as an analyst? Yes,
he's so whacked.
He is such a PR, politically correct guy.
And what said it?
He doesn't hold his ground nowhere.
And when he told on himself when he had them comments about Andy Reid.
Yeah,
remember that?
Exactly.
Like, nah, bro.
Exactly.
Everybody.
We know that's who drafted you.
Right. Not only just drafted you, but nobody's speaking ill will about Andy Reid. Everybody, all the players cut for him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're the only one that has issues because they didn't want to play you in the Super Bowl or some shit like that, or in the playoffs, something like that.
Exactly. Now it was a Super Bowl. Yeah. And he got a ring.
Right.
And he got a ring.
Right.
No, was he on the team when he lost to the Buccaneers? He wasn't on the team when we beat the the 49ers.
Right.
Was he on the team when we beat the 49ers? Because of course I'm a diehard Chiefs fan since Priest Holmes.
Right.
But I don't know if he was I know for sure he was on the team when we lost to Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if he was on the team when we beat the 49ers. I think he was.
Yeah.
I think he got a free ring off of that because he did play like that.
Right.
Because of Andy Reid.
Yeah.
And he used that as a grudge. He used that as a grudge against him.
Maybe, yeah.
He used that as a grudge against him, but he wasn't that guy that he was then. But at that time.
Not only that, whenever they bring up racial issues on the sports show, like the Speak Show with Joy Taylor.
Yeah, that's why I was gonna bring up Joy Taylor too. Because
Joy Taylor be keeping it real more than Sean McCoy.
Joy Taylor is the realest on those panels,
and she's fine too.
And she's fine too. Sorry, Jason Taylor. But I fuck with Jason Taylor. Jason Taylor was a defensive end.
Hell yeah, he was a good ass fucking football player.
Exactly.
Shout out to Jason Taylor.
But his sister is fine, dog. She
I ain't gonna lie,
she got some tickle bitties and a cute face, bro. I'm just saying, but I've seen it on the show that she would make LaShawn McCoy fold.
That's so many times.
He's the pro athlete,
right? She be keeping it more real than LaShawn McCoy, and that's why LaShawn McCoy be tap dancing.
He does, he's like Gregory Hines,
he be soft shooting too much.
He does, bro. Yeah, he always worried about the agenda before what's real.
Like he don't want to rock the boat too much.
No, man. And unfortunately, that's a lot of these guys, bro. Yeah. A lot of men in general. Some of the most so-called masculine men that you might see as macho and swole and big and buff and all that shit and athletes and all that. They don't want to rock the boat that they will be politically correct just for their agenda, just for their position, just so
for a check.
Just for a check, man.
Stay on the network, get a check. Maybe I'll get promoted to be Skip's co-host.
I'm telling you, bro. You're selling your soul. Y'all are selling your souls, man. That's sad.
That's why. You ever heard of the book? There's a book out there called $50 Million Slave or something. I think it's a book. Yeah, it talks about that. It addresses all that kind of stuff out with pro athletes and stuff.
$50 million slave. I'm not putting that in my little notepad.
Yeah, $50 million slave. It's a book.
People.
Where they talk about pro athletes that are not only in the league, but they transition over in the media or whatever how they maneuver and how they move and how these organizations handle them.
Exactly.
$50 Million Slave. Dope book. Check it out.
I was just writing it down real quick.
Yeah, no. Yeah, man.
That's it. Because you're about to bring up something with ESPN, and that's why we kind of went on a tangent. Because you're about to bring up something about the media with ESPN specifically. I don't know if you remember, but it all started with you about to bring up ESPN. Damn. But then we kind of went off with the whole Shannon Sharp thing. What was that? Damn it. I know. I want to mention the whole Shannon Sharp thing.
ESPN. But I remember bringing up ESPN.
Yeah, exactly.
I was watching ESPN. But I was about to go into a whole nother.
Go off of what you're about to do first.
I remember a couple episodes ago we were talking about like top 5 rappers. We didn't really go in depth, but I remember you mentioned Ludacris.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. I think he's in my top 5 too, bro.
Hey, that's respect. It's rare to be people that will say
I think I agree.
Thank you.
And that's a steep list.
Thank you.
But I'm just saying, I feel like, because if you think about it, right,
it's impact.
And I'm gonna get controversial with this take. You know how everybody, Eminem's like the holy grail. You're not supposed to Eminem or criticize Eminem, but there's rappers out there that are better than Eminem, bro. Like right now,
exactly.
Busta Rhymes, he can do everything Eminem could do. He can make hits like Eminem. He can rap fast like Eminem.
He's been doing it longer than Eminem.
Been doing it longer than Eminem. Yeah. He can rap just as crucial and fast and lyrical, technically sound as Eminem. Exactly. And he can make hits, and he has content. He could do it. He could do it just as well, if not better than Eminem. He does it better than Eminem to me. Yeah. He's been on more classic records. You know what I'm saying? So I put Busta Rhymes over Eminem.
It's just that the Eminem thing is he is white.
Right. And honestly, that's a huge factor.
That's a huge factor.
And I put Ludacris over Eminem too. Ludacris can rap fast. He has a style that he don't sound like nobody. Ludacris don't sound like...
Only Ludacris can sound like Ludacris.
He's a one of one, bro. His style is a one of one, bro. His distinct, dictated style... Chris, he can rap fast. He can rap slow. He can get on any type of record. Southern record, West Coast, East Coast, Southern. Ludacris is better than Eminem to me. Real talk. I'm just being real. You want to talk about technically sound? What about Twista though? Twista raps.
Bro, when you first talking about rapping fast, Twista was the first name I thought. No one's as fast of a rapper on a consistent basis as Twista.
Twista could do Rap God. You know that record Rap God?
Yeah, exactly. Of course. That's what could do that. That's the main song that Eminem was like, he's the greatest rapper alive because of Rap God.
God, come on, bro. Like, there's rappers out there that, I'm telling you, they're better than Eminem to me. Like, and Eminem is not...
I love Adrenaline Rush. People don't even know about the song Adrenaline Rush with Young Buck before Lil G in it.
Right.
Adrenaline Rush, like, I could fucking, like, I hear that song, I could start rapping like Twista off of that one song alone because, like, that song slaps. That's a late 90s song, early 2000s song.
Yeah.
Late, like, probably like 98. Between 98 and 2002 was when Adrenaline Rush came out. Yeah. People don't even know about that shit. I know about that shit. That shit's a slapper. Twista was killed that. He starts off slow and then he starts going in and then he goes like slow. He goes in and then Young Buck has his verse at the beginning, in the middle, and the rest is Twista. And it's just a great ass song, bro.
Yeah.
It's still on my Spotify.
Yep.
Like, just a great song, bro.
Yeah.
And people don't even know these type of things that you're talking about right now.
Yep.
Because they just go off of what mainstream media was saying or some shit.
Yep. And I also put Scarface over Eminem.
Scarface the face of Ghetto Boys.
Right.
Willie D isn't Willie D if it's not for Scarface.
Right.
And Willie D's relevant today with his streams.
But I would say Willie D's more relevant than Scarface.
Yeah, now exactly because he has his platform where he talks his real shit.
Oh yeah.
And that's a lot to do with it.
Right.
But like none of the Ghetto Boys don't exist if it's not for Scarface.
Right.
Including Willie D. So he capitalized off of the opportunity, but Scarface was telling stories. He was the original story, like besides like a Slick Rick and people like that, like original storyteller, hip hop figure, like literally in their raps telling you a story.
Right. Yeah. And the thing with Scarface, because I be watching their podcast sometimes too. Scarface not only was his style one of one. Nobody sounds like Scarface.
Nobody.
And Scarface has some hits.
I know. Exactly.
Classic motherfuckers.
Exactly.
Scarface makes beats too, bro. He be making beats. He be producing.
Right.
And he was actually a DJ and a producer before he got on as a rapper. Like he was actually making shit. You know,
a lot of people don't know that.
Like
he's the original like big crit Kanye to the degree like how he started producing and started rapping.
Yeah.
Like the people who would make their own beats that they would rap off.
Yeah.
He's the OG of that.
And I think rappers rappers that also produce too, like Kanye, J. Cole, those two, I feel like they're better than Eminem to me. Personally.
Yeah.
Because of their skill set.
Yeah.
Not only can they get behind the mic and rap, Yeah, they don't need a producer.
Yeah, exactly.
They technically don't have to work with
everything themselves.
They could do it all.
They have that skill set on top of doing it.
That's a musician, bro. That's not an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like so those types of artists, musicians right there, they're better than an Eminem to me. Because a lot of I'm telling you, man, a lot of these people
about being the complete.
Yeah,
tool, right. Not just being one dimensional. Oh yeah, he can spit. There's a lot of people that can spit.
There's a lot of motherfuckers that can spit, man.
But to like be the one that orchestrated the sound that you're spitting on,
yeah, right.
And to mix and master that, and to actually come out with a song off of everything, like off of only you.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
You know who's equal to Eminem, and it's a nigga in his own camp. Royce the 5'9".
Damn.
He raps just as good. Bro,
and so many songs that have been on together, the ciphers. All those BT ciphers.
I'm telling you, bro.
Like, yes.
His own man's
5'9" could spit.
That's what I'm saying. His own man's can spit just as good. His own man's can spit just as good, bro. That's what I'm saying.
There's so many times I've heard them on songs together, or I've heard ciphers, like BT ciphers. So I'm like, shit, I'm like, what's the 5'9" really killed that whole dog? I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
Like, yeah, Eminem killed that whole too. I'm like, what's the 5'9"'s a sleeper? That thing can spit too.
You're right. There's this record that they did together when they first got together as a duo called Bad Meets Evil.
Yeah.
It's like an old record.
I know
they made this in the late 90s, early 90s.
Yeah, it was early 2000s. I know it.
When they first came out. It's a record they did together called Nothing to Do. I'm telling you, man.
It's like 2001, between 2001 and 2004. Around that.
Yeah.
That's I remember. I know it. Bad Meets Evil. I know it.
Yep.
I've heard it.
Yep.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, Royce went toe to toe with Eminem on that record, bro. I think, bro, I'm telling you, Royce's style resonates with me better than Eminem's style.
It's more relatable because he was like, even though they grew up in the same area,
right?
It's like he was, it's just that Eminem grew up in the same area as a trailer park boy, while Royce grew up in that same area in the street.
In the streets, right.
So that was the difference, but they grew up in the same area in different perspectives.
Right.
And that's what you're going to relate to more is who you relate to more. Exactly. Which is going to be the one in the streets because we are who we are.
Right.
So.
And again, I like some of Eminem's records, but I'm putting him where I feel like he needs to be, though. I'm putting him in his place. Like, not figuratively. I mean, not literally.
Yeah, but figuratively.
Yeah, and in a top rappers list, he's not in my top 5, bro. I'm sorry.
He's in the top 10, but not my top 5 either.
He could be top 10 for me.
I give him top 10.
Could be.
But it's like the back end, like 8. 9,
it'd be in the back half.
10, yeah,
like real talk. Like it's not.
I agree.
That's what I'm saying. Like if he, again, I have some Eminem songs, like a couple Eminem songs.
Yeah, I'm on Spotify too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But again, it's not. There's plenty of artists that I feel like.
I want to talk like you got something to say, and then comes out in the mood. Let's talk about gibberish, and motherfucker act like you forgot about that. Yeah, that's nice.
It's what I'm saying.
It's nice ass up.
You know what I mean? Like
he's not a scrub.
He's not trash.
He's not far from it.
He's not trash.
But then, like, you can't ignore the fact that he did emulate a lot of the people that we would put in our top 5. You know
who Eminem got a lot of his style from? A lot of people don't know about this guy. This dude named Master Ace. Mm-hmm. He's from Michigan.
Master Ace still.
Master Ace, bro.
Master Ace, I got some of his shit.
Oh, really? You do?
Too. Yeah, I got like
that's where songs. He came out. He came out before Eminem, bro. And he was, and listen to
he's like
style.
A conscious rapper.
Right, but the styles, though, the style, I'm telling you.
Yeah, he's a conscious rapper, but like the flow?
Yeah. The flow, I'm telling you, Eminem got that inspiration. I'm telling you, bro.
Hey, wisdom talk.
I'm telling y'all.
We're putting on game. People who watch this episode is gonna low key end up looking into some of the shit that we're talking about.
And a lot of people say also Chino XL. You heard of him?
Yeah, I heard.
I've never heard any of his music, but a lot of people out there claim that Eminem got a lot of his style from Chino XL too.
Because Chino XL was more like he was like a Big Pun. Fat Joe.
Oh, was he really?
Like that type of figure.
Okay.
You know?
I've never heard any of it.
Exactly. It's like how Big L was a big influence in Jay-Z and Fat Joe.
Exactly.
And that's what they sleep on just the same way. Like they would sleep on Chino.
Right.
With the Eminems and people who came out of the Detroit area.
Right.
And all that.
Yeah.
So it's like a common denominator when it comes to that.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Because like Big L had Fat Joe as like, and Jay-Z as like, underlines to his headlines.
Right.
Whenever he was coming up, he was bringing them along with him. Yeah. Hey, these are my guys, you know. You rock with me, you got to rock with them.
Right.
And then, of course, he dies early, and these guys resonate to where they are now.
Yep.
And they know where they come from.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. There's you know, like I said, man.
Big L's music still hits.
Oh yeah, man. There's a record that I was listening.
He said, "My parent." He said this one bar that still hits me. My parent. I'm gonna say it right. I'm so ahead of my time. My parents ain't even met yet. That's a bar, bro. If that's not a bar, I'm so ahead of my time. My parents ain't even met yet. What the fuck? You said that shit in the early mid 90s. It said it's a bar like that on the track.
Yeah.
Like, that's ahead of your time, bro.
Yeah,
he said it.
Big O was that dude.
Hey, he said it.
Big O was that dude, and you know, there's a record he did with Big Daddy Kane called Platinum Plus.
Yeah,
I've been jamming that shit too. Like that shit goes hard, bro.
I ain't heard that one in a while, but I know the song though. I like vividly. I mean, not vividly, like vaguely.
Right.
Yeah, right. I do. Yeah, that one.
That shit goes hard too, man. And then people, Rakim is in my top 5.
Rakim is in my top 5
because
he's the original that raps the way that modern rappers rap.
Thank you.
He was the first to do it.
He was the first to do it like that.
Like that. Like at first it was like the nursery rhyme type of song.
Yeah, the nursery, the A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Exactly. But he was actually just letting it rip.
Yeah,
like
bro.
a Beyblade. Like just letting that shit go.
That's why he's top 5.
Yeah. No, he's the first.
He revolutionized the game, bro. Yeah. Literally. Like he changed the style.
He's the first that music is timeless.
I'm telling you.
His flow is so timeless. Like you can listen to a Rakim track right now. It sounds like you're listening to just an older track.
He was on the Breakfast Club.
Than just a track that started off.
Right. He was on the Breakfast Club like I want to say like 4 years ago or something like that. He did an interview on the Breakfast Club and he spent like 3 bars. And Charlamagne and Envy just had no. They were just like, "Oh shit!" I was like, and Rakim was like, "Yeah, you know, I'm still, yeah." He's like, "Yeah, you know, I'm still cocky." You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Bruh, like
he does come from that East Coast shit too."
He was talking about cleansing the pineal gland and like the way he rapped it. I was like, "Ooh!" I was like, "Yo."
Yeah, bro. No, that nigga's in his 50s now. I know he's like in his 50s by now. Yeah. You know?
He's like reverse your mind and time and cleanse your pineal gland with mind. It's like something like these.
Even Lil Wayne took a verse from this nigga. Looking in the palm of my hands. What's that one song? That one song he said, thinking in the palm of my hands and nothing but time in my hands or something like that. I'm butchering it like a motherfucker.
Yeah. I think I know the record you're talking about.
Thinking off the top, but like that's how Lil Wayne opened the verse on the song that he did with like Lloyd or some shit.
It's the paid in full.
Yeah, exactly. But like it's the paid exactly.
Speaking of a master plan,
I ain't got nothing but time up in my hands. Something like that, exactly. And that's how you like, bro. Shit is like timeless, bro. Right? That shit's timeless like that.
I'm telling you. Melly Mel too, man.
Melly Mel too. Hey, I don't fuck with Black TV like that, but he do be interviewing people like the Melly Mels, the OGs that were in the game that started this shit that we are now. Yeah, go ahead with the
No. All I was gonna say was he has a record called Step Off with Grandmaster Flash. Melly Mel and Grandmaster Flash called Step Off. That hoe was ahead of his time, bro. I think it came out in 70.
I know that song because he mentioned it in one of the interviews.
It came out in 83 or 84, something like that. But that record is hard, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
It's the first of that type of
that type of production.
Yeah, exactly.
Man,
because it was off of some like originally the hip hop was like more like a hippie hoppy, like you know, like a vibrant.
Right,
dancey thing. But it was like he was the first to come with that
grit, with that grind. You know what I mean? Like Melly Mel, that Step Off record, that shit is hard, bro.
Yeah,
that shit's hard. Y'all need to check that out.
Facts.
Yeah, man.
Let me see if I got something that I was gonna bring up in something. Let me see. Cause like I take a lot of notes, a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But like I'm gonna go to the questions real quick. Hold on. All right, you know how we talk about like usual dating stuff and stuff too, like intersexual dynamics and all that. All right, so from there, I'm gonna just talk about how like I'm a firm believer that feminism was the beginning of the end. And I'm going to say in this reason why. I know it's a controversial take. I know it's a controversial take. But in this way, I'm going to say in this way, and how it reflects dating, is that the women that are pro-feminist, they don't believe they need a man, but they want a man. And whenever you just want something and you don't need it, then you're not going to prioritize it. And therefore, when you have it in front of you, you're not going to just like take it seriously. And that's why it reflects towards the single mom households and the women that are successful that never even have kids and never even like, and they feel like there's something missing in their life. They just want someone to settle with and like be with for the rest of their life. And but when you don't feel like you need something and you only want it, then you're not gonna try to be the best version of yourself to obtain that. So that's where my whole anti-feminist type of thing is, because originally feminist was supposed to be equality, like women get the same opportunities as men, but now it feels like women empowerment and men, like in emasculating men and like anti-man and pro-woman, like to a point where women are superior to men. And that is like literally off of some hedonistic demon time shit. And all in all, my whole point is I love the fact that women can join the workforce and everything, but they should prioritize settling down, like, because they're natural nurturers and they naturally love to have a family. They literally, most women desire to find a man and start a family with that man. But then when you're prioritizing your career over that, then it takes a hit. That's gonna take a hit. And I'm a firm believer of this. Get your job, have an opportunity, even get your education. I say get your degree, but then start looking for a way to starting a family after you get your degree, because no matter how old you are, you can always do your career. Especially for women, because like most manly careers are physical based, but most women careers are more social based. So you can start your career at late 30s, 40s, even 50s and still be fine, but you already had your family in your 20s and early 30s. So you could do that, but then when they hear that, it's like, what the hell? Like, why would I do that if I'm already able to do it now? And that's been my conflict with that. I just want to hear what your input is on that.
I think feminism woke up a certain spirit in women. I think for good reasons and for bad reasons. I think it's a combination of both. I think good reasons in the sense of it woke up a sense of strength, a sense of independence, a sense of, you don't need to completely be dependent on a man or a system for that matter to get your success as a woman. Those in its foundation sound good. They sound nice. Yeah. But from a negative standpoint, I think it's been taken a little too far in a lot of ways by a lot of women. Let me just say this also. You know who started the feminist movement?
Go ahead. I have an idea, but please elaborate, because I know about
Margaret Sanger. You know who that is?
Not really.
So Margaret Sanger,
because I know the motives of early feminism.
Yeah, it was
like a racial thing. It was a racial thing.
It's a white woman.
I know that. But go ahead.
Sanger.
You probably know more.
Margaret Sanger
definitely know more than me.
Started feminism.
Yeah, Margaret Sanger.
Margaret Sanger was racist as shit. Exactly. And feminism wasn't meant to cater to the black woman.
Yeah, exactly.
It was meant for white women. To get equality with white men. They used black women to be able to buffer their stance and to be able to get allocated certain resources at the time.
Damn.
And then once they got those resources, the black women were looking at them like, hey, what the fuck? Aren't we in this together? No, we're not. They kind of shoved all that to the side, right?
So they don't want to admit.
Margaret Sanger started.
I knew that basic beginning. I knew that.
Started the feminist movement. She was racist as shit.
Exactly.
She was all for white supremacy, because she didn't want them black women getting them benefits and the resources.
It's facts.
As soon as that started to potentially happen, like, oh hell no, niggas, yeah,
Exactly.
no. I mean, we white women need equality. You know,
Yeah, it was them first.
It was that first.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, and so, you know, I'm kind of giving you a paraphrased version of history here, but that's basically what happened. In a nutshell, foundationally, Margaret Sanger was a white woman who started the feminist movement. She was racist as fuck.
Yep.
It wasn't meant to cater to black women, period.
Yep.
So
It's facts, man.
but see, that all gets lost in the sauce.
Yeah, because like in modern times, they went from that route to more of just anti all men.
Right.
And like that's their new scapegoat towards their original agenda in the first place. Into modern times is like let's just cater towards all women, not just the white women that feel oppressed, but all women. Now that segregation is no longer a thing, because feminism did start around the time of civil rights. So whenever, of course, civil rights,
of course,
right? Coincidentally, of course.
And while black people are trying to get equality, white women, what about us? We want equality too.
So post civil rights, of course, they're gonna start to cater towards all women.
Right.
To fit that agenda, to make them not look so bad like the other people that was a part of the civil rights. So they did that, and then now we still need someone to target. So let's target all men, even though it was only a certain group of men that was oppressing those women, and those men were also oppressed.
Yep.
They don't care about the men that was also oppressed, all the men that would die in these wars, all the men that was mostly dying through slavery, because the women weren't getting killed at the same rate as the men that were slaves, because they were impregnating those women and having sex with them women. Men are the disposable of the two. So that's why they're the ones that were mostly getting killed throughout these times. So it's a common denominator. I can't ignore that. I can't not ignore it. Like, I can't act like I can't read between the lines and use my critical thinking and know that the bigger picture. So when I see the bigger picture, then I'm gonna anti that ideology. So I do like the idea of women getting the opportunity to work, but I'm anti women prioritizing work over, like, prioritizing work for their lives as best over the family as best. I'm all about women. Family comes first. A man has to provide. Since the beginning of time, since fucking cavemen having to hunt the lion or hunt the fucking animal that they had to kill to feed their families. Men, since the beginning of time, had to provide. Right. But of course, times have changed, and also economy. So yes, it is better off that both men and women work, but it should be more focal point towards the man working, and as a byproduct, the woman does what she has to do and to provide for their family. She's only working as much as she's even working in the first place towards the family, not prioritizing work over the family. So, boom.
Yeah,
that's my perspective.
I just don't want it to be at the expense of what it means to be a man. You know what it means.
Yeah, because like a lot of
there's nothing wrong with roles, and that's what that's what people need to understand. Like, there's nothing wrong with having a role. Everybody, there's in your work at your job, right? You have a role.
Exactly.
You don't run everything. You don't own the business. You're not doing everything by yourself. You have a role to play, just like your coworker does.
Yeah.
Just like the people above you. Same thing with the family household. Same thing with the man. Same thing with the woman. Same thing with the child. Everybody has a damn role. Everybody. There's nothing wrong with having a role. Like, see, what feminism does is it blurs the lines.
Yes.
It puts a bunch of blurred lines there.
All this,
that's
like, we're equal and all this stuff. Right. And not that we have our roles to play towards completing the whole spectrum. Like,
and again, like, like I said, there's nothing wrong with having a fucking role, man. Like, you don't have to do everything. You don't have to be Miss Do It All, Miss Jacqueline of all trades. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be that.
Did you hear about my statistic about the percentage of children that are raised in single mother households nowadays? 79%.
Damn.
79%.
I didn't know that.
Of children nowadays are being raised from single parent households.
I didn't know
and
that.
Not just counting like, oh, the father's not around, but that counts divorce. Or breakups, or just a father not even around.
Right.
but they're living with their mom predominantly. 79%.
Damn, I didn't know that.
That's fucked up, bro. And guess who benefits off of that but the government? Are you serious? They're just eating that shit alive. And that's why they're not trying to help that shit. They're actually trying to influence that shit. You don't need a man. All this independent talk. It is literally for the reason, for the buck. Because like then they could put these women in these broken homes or Section 8 living and give them all this government-based shit and child support and alimony and whatever the fuck, so they could have more incentives behind it. And it's just like they are encouraging broken homes.
Right.
And that irks me. I'm all about yin and yang. No one is better than the other, but yet we balance, we complete one another, because a man's strength is a woman's strength is a woman's strength is a man's weakness, and vice versa. A man's strength is a woman's weakness. So we're better off whole, yin and yang. Like, how the fuck would you want to think that a man or a woman could just like, even though, ironically, single fathers raise better children than single mothers, because like, that's another thing. That's another thing too. That's another statistic I could pull up too. Because like, yes, this is the difference. They gonna eat you in the comment. Oh yeah, I know they are. But this is the thing, is that it's so much easier to be a nurturer than a disciplinarian, because like the guilt of like punishing your child, and then you see that child, like women, whenever they are punishing their child and they see that child's reaction and everything and the resilience, and like they just naturally get their emotional triggers coming and they like start to ease up. But man's gonna stand their ground in their discipline. Like, no, this is the reason why you gotta do it. It's just like how a woman's gonna tell someone the truth in a more coddling way to massage their emotions, not to trigger them. But man's just gonna be straight up. And it's just that difference alone is how it is towards parenting. Like, a man's gonna be straight up with their child, blunt, straight up, and give the reason why, and that is, it is what it is. This is it. Where a woman's gonna be like, you know, this is the reason why you gotta do it. I understand where you're coming from, and I get that, but this is how it's gotta be, and you know, that thing. And then like, as they get older, like, man, fuck that shit, I'm gonna do my own thing. While the child that was raised by a guy is like, it's embedded. I'm like, man, I remember that grown ass shit that pops told me. I think twice before I do that, because I know the repercussions.
Right.
So it's just how it goes. It's not like absolute. And here's another thing I'm going to say. This is some shit that I actually had to come with assessment to. Nothing is absolute. Nothing is zero. Nothing is 50-50. But everything is majority of minorities. So it is what it is. So there you go with that.
Okay.
Yeah, you like that one? I had to learn that shit throughout time, from like watching all the videos, all the podcasts, all the clips, all the shit that I watch, or the shit I would read from Googling, and everything from credible sources, from doctors and psychologists and researchers. And like, I use all credible sources to come up to a final assessment of my own. And that way I can, like, what I say it could be respectable, because like, not only my credible sources, but I didn't use any one source to come up with a final judgment, but all the sources together comes to this common ground to my final assessment, and that's where it comes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
what's our time looking like right now?
We're at 20 minutes left.
Okay.
Time flies, bro.
Yeah, damn.
We do these 2-hour sessions, and then next thing you know, it's like, oh shit, we only got this much time left.
Damn.
Shit's crazy.
Speaking of, okay, so another thing I was jamming. Do you have like nostalgia triggers?
Yeah.
Like certain things that you listen to or watch or hear or see, or
story of my life.
Yeah, do you get nostalgia a lot?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So I was listening to a random ass song off the Ghostbusters 2 soundtrack. Dropped in 1989. Yes, I was only 3 years old. But I remember that shit.
Bobby Brown has a song on that Ghostbusters soundtrack. It's like on my own.
Yeah, bro. Is that what you're about to say?
Oh shit!
I swear, I promise you.
This shit up.
I promise you, I
can't make this shit up.
That's a song that I've been jamming for like the last like 3 days.
It's on my Spotify.
Is it really?
Yeah, I got it.
Bro, that song is hard.
They might think a lot.
Hey,
bro,
that song for whatever reason it's been stuck in my head, and it's been giving me.
Can't make this shit up,
right? and it's been giving me such nostalgia, bro. I don't know what it is. It could be the way the chords are played in the song, the way the beats made, the sound,
so authentic.
The frequency of it is something that resonates with my nostalgia.
You could tell that they were in that studio using the instruments and the keyboards. It was like some old school vinyl type.
Yeah. Like
you could hear it. You could hear the resonance of it. Like some old Michael Jackson.
I want to know how they did that one part of the song where they like, like, was it a choir? Or was it like,
a choir? Like, was it because like, back in those times they had choirs pull up.
They did
that shit.
But was that a keyboard that played? Yeah, was it a choir or was it a keyboard?
I don't know, but that shit's dope. I'm about to pull that.
That shit's dope. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm about to pull that up real quick, just off of just like. Man, bro, I'm about to pull. I'm about to take that Bobby Brown.
And that was when Bobby Brown had like a short stint when he went solo.
Oh yeah, of course.
That was like between
on my own. On our own. Boom, right there. I got it on my lights.
Yeah, bro.
On my lights, alright.
Hey, that shit
goes on. Go Buster Salsa.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. Before we get copyrighted.
Before we get struck like a mother.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, that shit. You know, Big Daddy Kane and Dougie Fresh were in that video.
I never seen the video.
Okay, they have a music video. Yeah,
I never seen it. I just know the song.
Yeah, the song.
I've never seen it. I never even knew they had a video.
Yeah, bro. Dougie Fresh and Big Daddy Kane are in that video.
Damn, yeah, that's bro. Historical shit.
I'll tell you, they look
because Bobby Brown, when he went solo, because like when he was dating Whitney Houston and all that shit,
right.
Like he was that nigga.
That's what
he was that
between
nigga.
88 and like 1990.
Tenderoni, that nigga, bro. Tenderoni is my favorite of all of Bobby songs.
I'm telling you,
and that says a lot.
I'm telling you, bro.
My prerogative. Nigga, come on,
I'm telling you, Bobby Brown.
Come on, bro.
Once upon
music heads know what's up, bro.
I'm telling you, Bobby Brown was that dude, man.
Yes, sir.
He was, bro. I ain't gonna lie. And that Ghostbusters shit, that On My Own song, that record.
And you remember Rob tried to do his own solo thing, besides that sensitivity shit.
Yeah, right.
He was not touching Bobby Brown.
He wasn't on
Bobby Brown. Was that nigga.
He wasn't Bobby Brown.
Bobby Brown for like almost 10 years was rocking that solo shit.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, bro.
He was asleep.
But that song's been giving me mad nostalgia, bro. And you know, I don't remember hearing that song until like 91, 92. When I was like 4 or 5 years old, 6 years old, that's when I remember it, even though it dropped in the air.
Yeah, exactly. It dropped before we were born. For me, I was 1990 exactly.
I was 86, so I was 3 years old. And I don't remember hearing it and me liking it as a kid. Like, and like until 91, 92, because that's when it was still playing.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's when I remember it. I remember it. That's why it gives me nostalgia, because I'm like, damn, I remember when I was a kid, bro.
Yeah, your earliest memories was, and that's one of those main songs. You know what song was my earliest memories was Regulators with Warren.
Word? Okay. Yeah.
That was 1994.
Yeah.
Regulators. I don't know. I remember I was at daycare. Funny ass story. We're going on a field trip in kindergarten, daycare. I remember getting on top of the dumpster and saying, "Regulators, mount up." And I flashed the fucking class. And flashed the class, and I got in so much trouble. My ass beat at home and everything. But that's my first memory of a song that I remember.
Regulator!
Mount up. And that was Warren G, Nate Dogg. My first ever sports experience was when OJ was running the Bronco and the Rockets were playing the Knicks in the finals.
I remember that shit.
And they had that shit on the mini screen while the finals was going on.
Yeah.
That was my first sports memory.
Yeah, right.
Can't make this shit up.
Crazy.
It was like the same year.
Yeah, I remember all that shit. I remember that shit vividly,
bro.
dog.
It was only 2 years after Rodney King why it was such a big moment.
Yeah.
In that whole case.
Dog. Yeah, man. I remember.
Telling you, bro, it's like those type of things you take to the grave. No matter how old you are, it's like your first earliest memories of life.
Yeah.
And you can't forget it.
I wish I would have experienced the 80s, bro.
I know, me too.
I wish, dog,
too.
Because I know the 80s was shit.
Shit, only Jean remember. Only my older sister Jean. She's the only one who remembers
the 90s or
like the 80s. Yeah, because she was in 80. She was born in 81. So.
Oh, so she was like 9. She was like 8, 9 years old when that Bobby Brown record came out.
So like, she knows that shit firsthand.
Yeah. Damn, bro. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that good time. Been good nostalgia, man. Like that shit's been I've been jamming that shit lately, dude.
Yeah, no, that's how I had to pull it up because when you said Bobby Brown,
I said Ghostbusters 2 soundtrack.
I'm like, on my own?
Yeah,
I know that shit. I know.
That's my shit.
The first song that I can think of when it comes to Bobby Brown and Ghostbusters soundtrack was On My Own. I was like, I just found out it's on our own, but yes, it's same shit.
Yeah,
but yes,
on our own.
Yes, exactly, bro. I was like, wait. Yeah. When you say Ghostbusters, Bobby Brown, like that's the first song. That is the song.
That's the song. That's the Ghostbusters theme song, bro.
It is.
I mean, besides the Who You Gonna Call?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
That Bobby Brown On My Own. On Our Own, I mean, is that's the next Ghostbusters.
It was on the movie for crying out loud.
That's all I'm saying.
It played on the movie at some point, like during the movie. I remember that shit. I think it was the second Ghostbuster.
Yeah. It was Ghostbusters 2. Yeah,
exactly. It played while the movie, like during the movie. Like it's one of the soundtracks of the movie, and it plays during the movie.
Right.
At a certain scene in the movie.
I'm telling you, the 80s had some dog, man. The 80s was good era too, bro. I'll Be Sure. You had New Edition. I mean,
of course. Yeah, exactly.
You had Guy.
Yeah,
Troop.
I like.
Yeah.
I like. That shit slap, boy. What? Yeah, even if you want to go to different genres like Motley Crue and Metallica and AC/DC,
Van Halen,
Ozzy,
Guns N' Roses,
Guns N' Roses for sure.
Yep.
Even Run DMC with Aerosmith, in their
Red Hot Chili Peppers,
man, come
on, bro, come
on and get a free ride, free ride.
Yeah. Did you say AC/DC?
Yeah, AC/DC. Yep. You know it, bro.
I'm telling you.
Man,
80s was the shit, bro.
Man,
so was the 80s and the 90s, bro.
80s and the 90s.
Those two eras, those 2 decades, bro,
are timeless.
Timeless decades, dog.
You can play them songs from them 2 eras anytime.
I'm telling you,
it always resonates.
I'm telling you, bro.
Facts.
80s and the 90s.
That's why I have Tupac and Biggie in my top 5.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's why they're both in my top 5. That's why there's not enough room for Eminem.
I'm just saying.
Like, you got 2 spots already filled. And then you got Rakim, so that's 3 out of 5.
And then Ludacris.
That's 4 out of 5. So I was like,
where the fuck you going?
You already strong space, man. So like, that's how it goes, though.
I'm telling you.
Because that 80s, 90s, like that nostalgic, man. You can't make it.
I'm telling you.
Man, shout out to you for bringing out that Bobby Brown, man. I ain't even heard that song in years. I haven't heard that song in years, but I know that song.
That's what I'm saying.
It's on my Spotify like that. I just pulled it up.
I'm telling you.
But like, just the thing about it, like, damn.
I'm telling you.
That shit timeless to a point where my own cousin.
Dog, I'm telling you. 89, bro. That shit dropped in 89.
89, man.
There's some people I'm cool with that weren't even born yet.
Yeah, I know. I'm on
that. you next year. I'm next year,
I was a year behind that. That's already been out for about a year.
Isn't that crazy to like watch like videos of like people in moving around in an era when you weren't born?
I know.
Like when you watch like city videos or like, for example, I watched that music video, right?
I didn't watch that.
The music video is basically shot in the city. I think it's like New York or Chicago or something. You just see random clips of the city. Bobby Brown's on a big screen everywhere in random scenes. Like you see a big screen on one building.
It's crazy how they shot videos back then.
You know what I'm saying? So while he's doing that, just people are just walking. You see cars driving around, and he's just on the big screen everywhere, right?
Wow.
And I'm looking at it in a different way. Yeah, I'm jamming a song, but I'm like, damn, people were just moving around in 89. Like I was only 3 years old. You know what I'm saying? Or even like watching like a Michael Jackson video back in the 70s where he's in public. And it's like, damn, I wasn't even born yet. And people were just, I don't know, it's just a weird feeling watching humans walk around.
How times were then,
and
like in relations to it.
Just watching how people lived before you were born. You know what I'm saying? Watching live video, or not live video, but video that was, shot at that time.
I know, bro.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. Because we didn't have the technology we have now, which is a big impact towards that.
Right.
And how did people go about their lives? It's that's the type of shit that goes in my head. It's how did they carry themselves back then to this point to have videos like this and everything else?
They were in the Bobby Brown video. They were using a payphone. One guy, they had a scene of a guy's using a payphone, and he's on it, and he just comes.
When's the last time you seen a payphone,
bro? Dog, have you used one before? You use one?
I used one in my life.
Yeah.
But I was talking about
you know what's crazy? We're the last generation to even touch something like that, bro.
Oh, you're right.
There's people that are alive right now that have never touched and used the payphone, dog. Isn't that crazy?
Right.
Isn't that crazy? There's motherfuckers that are born in the year 90, in 2000. There's people that are in their 20s that were born in the year 2000 that have never used the payphone, dog.
Because bro.
All they know is cell phone.
Exactly.
Some people don't even know a house phone, dog.
No.
I'm telling you. Having to use the house phone to make sure the other person you're trying to call is on their house phone too, so you get them up on the house phone.
My first cell phone was in high school.
Bro,
my first cell phone was in high school.
Me too.
So I had to use the house phone just to talk to my friends or girls I don't even be talking to and all that shit.
Me too.
And phone line, AOL. And you can't use the house phone while someone's on the AOL on the internet.
Bruh.
People don't even know about that.
I think the last time I saw a payphone though on the cool was 2001. There's a gas station across the street from my mom's house that had a payphone on it. Then it's when I was in 8th grade, 9th grade is the last time I saw a payphone, I think.
I can't admit, I've seen a payphone. I've seen a payphone 2008, 2009 was the last time I seen one. But the last time I used one,
probably used. I used that payphone.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was saying 99, 2001. Between 99 and 2001 was the last time I actually used it.
A payphone, right?
Yeah, because I had to come up here.
Yeah.
I was stranded. I had to come up here. I had a little change in my pocket in that payphone to call them. And of course, you memorize numbers back then because you don't have a cell phone. So you memorize every number that you could know.
I remember in 1992, I was 6 years old. I remember our house, the house that I grew up in. We weren't in Katy at that time. We were in Houston, off of Gessner and
you're in Haley.
Yeah, we were off of Wilcrest and I-10.
though.
Yeah, so I remember my mom or my dad had this stand-up phone, a stand like this, right? Stand-up phone. It was one of those phones where you poke it and turn it. So you poke the number and then you spin it. It was one of those. There's a certain name for that type of phone. But that phone, it was a lamp too. So it was like a lamp and a phone like that. So you poke the number and you.
I know the phone. You know what I'm saying? I think we might still have that phone in our garage. Just because my mom struggles with throwing shit away. She's a big hoarder.
Yeah.
So I think we still have that phone because the phone was just like an antique in the house.
No, our shit worked. Our shit worked.
Now it's in the garage.
Yeah, our shit worked in 92. Our shit was operational, bro.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that it worked back then. Back then. I'm saying it was even at 2006 that phone would still be in the house.
Yeah.
Even though it didn't work, it was just like an antique.
Yeah.
I think I can find it in the garage. I bet if I look in my garage right now,
bro, if you find that shit, you gotta bring that shit on the episode and just slap that home right here.
I'm gonna put it with your merch.
Just slap that shit right there. Just man, look what I found.
I still got the first PlayStation and first Xbox.
Word?
In my room.
Wow.
That's personally. That's me.
I wonder if those are worth. I don't know if those are those worth something right now?
I don't know. I still have the cores though.
Oh shit.
I still have the cores at least one functioning controller for each.
I still got some N64 games. I got homies that still have N64 and a couple cartridges like Smash Brothers and GoldenEye and shit. Right.
Remember how we used to play GoldenEye as kids?
Oh my gosh,
bro!
All the time, bro.
I was the youngest playing with y'all. I was playing with the split screen.
Yeah, with the split, bro. GoldenEye, classic.
GoldenEye is
classic.
Nintendo 64,
bro. And the 64 came out in 96.
Yeah, 96. It was 96.
That shit was ahead of its time too.
Soul Edge. Soul Blade, I think.
Or was it Soul Calibur? Soul Calibur, right?
Well, Soul Calibur came. It was named Soul Calibur after it was Soul Blade.
Oh shit! Okay.
So it was Soul Blade at first, and then Soul Calibur was like more of like PS2.
Gotcha.
And and that shit.
Gotcha.
And GameCube, PS2, all that shit. That's when it became Soul Calibur. But originally it was Soul Blade.
Soul Blade. Okay.
It was on PlayStation and 64.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Okay.
Man, bro.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah, I remember that fucking telephone. Like, you have to go to the number, and then you gotta go to the next number. And like, you gotta go 2, you gotta go 8, and then you gotta go 1. Just for a number.
Just a dollar. Man, I'm telling you, a lot of these youngins don't even understand. No, I'm saying youngins like I'm like super old. I'm not even super old like that. I'm just saying I'm in a funky little space where I was born where I could experience the new and the old.
I call that the 30s. Right. That funky little space.
Yeah, I feel like it's a good space because we got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, because like the older people say that we're still young, but then the younger people say we're old.
So but we got a piece of all of that. Every we had a piece of every fucking era,
and we're like the golden age,
right?
Because we got to see both sides of the spectrum.
I'm telling you,
and had to adapt to both of the time.
I'm telling you.
It's true. It is very true, bro.
I'm telling you.
That shit crazy, man.
Yeah, that phone, bro. I'm telling you. That shit was crazy.
I can't believe that shit was still functioning. That was y'all's phone back in '90.
That was our phone. That was the house phone.
That was the go-to phone.
Yeah, I remember talking on it. I remember talking on that bitch and everything.
That's that Thomas Edison. Hello. Yeah. Yes. And then the neighbors next door. Yes. I hear you. It's like you gotta talk and then you gotta listen, then you gotta talk, you gotta listen.
Right. Yeah.
Even though Thomas Edison's the right guy, right?
Well, no, Thomas Edison's a patent thief.
Oh,
by the way, he's not an inventor. He was the first one to go to the patent office, and he was a thief. He stole a lot of people's patents.
Wisdom tongue.
Lewis Latimer was his chief blueprint construction draftsman, right?
Sheesh.
And he's the guy that actually invented a lot of shit for Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison just took what he made and would take it to the patent office, like the light bulb, for example. Yeah, so Thomas Edison, he was an inventor. He was known to steal. It's documented. It's well documented. Like Thomas Edison stole patents. Like that's what he was.
You want to know what's crazy is that if we found a clip and posted that on like Facebook or Instagram, they would say. They would shun, like the powers that be, the people who are running this shit would be like, this is false information.
It's not. I'm like, this is.
But it's real.
The truth doesn't care about feelings. Okay? Yeah. So that's facts. That's historical evidence. There's facts. You could Google that. Thomas Edison he stole patents. Like he didn't invent anything. Nothing. He had a black man named Lewis Latimer who drafted all his blueprints for his inventions, and he would take that and take it to the patent office and put his stamp on it and say it's his. That's what they did with slaves too. Yeah. They did that with slaves. You know, slaves invented a lot of shit in slavery.
Yeah.
And the slave master would get credit for it because it was illegal for slaves to have inventions. It was illegal for slaves to
I was about to start bringing up like there's other credentials that are being credited to people that didn't really invent it but took the credit of it because they had the position to take the credit of it.
Yeah.
Like they had the status and recognition and like that person is the only credible by the terms of society at that time to get the respect and recognition towards that invention.
Like the toilet, the stoplight.
Yeah.
Fuck the cotton gin, fuck peanut butter. Those are just minor things.
Yeah. Because like,
you know what I mean? They always like to give us that bullshit credit.
Yeah,
like
it's like you know, like you know,
you got peanut butter, you got
stoplights,
cotton gin. Of course y'all made that, right? Of course you did. Like,
of course the cotton gin made cotton.
Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, like that's why you brought up the whole Thomas Edison being a thief. Is that like I can't think of there's another invention like that in that time that someone else also did the same shit. I can't. It's in the back of my head. Maybe we might have to bring it up in that episode. But it's another thing that someone took credit for that they weren't really the inventor of, but it's just that the inventor wouldn't get the same recognition.
What,
and respect.
You talking about the internet? Because the internet was invented by a black man too. African dude, Nigerian guy. Something. I don't know. First name is something, and then his last name is Edigmale. I don't know how to say his last name.
I know a little bit about that, but I don't know a lot about it. That's why I'm not like getting in depth with it.
He created the chips to be able to get to be able to go in the site to get cyberspace service or internet or something like that. He basically created the chip for the internet, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a black dude.
Man, I can already tell when it comes to this podcast, we're gonna have to have multiple streaming sources because like there's gonna be certain things that because it's wisdom talk and we're only speaking the real shit. The shit that we can't.
I'm just talking history.
And that's the thing.
It's just history, bro.
That's the thing. I noticed that shit as a recent is that even if it's historical, you can pull it up and you can pull up the receipts and everything and it's facts.
Right.
If it colludes, if it contradicts the narrative that is to be in some degree, they're gonna falsify like what you're saying. Like, oh, this is not real information. This is false information. This is
right. But
fake news. Fake news.
But see, we can do receipts, right? Or you can do your history, do your research, man.
Yeah, I know that shit because like some of the stuff that I would bring up about them boys, I'm gonna say them boys. I made a post about that off of one of my homies because TikTok is China based, so you can post shit that might conflict with the Israel, the Jewish, you can post stuff like that about who they really are on TikTok because it's China based. They don't have to worry about the powers that be, but like on Facebook and Instagram, that is more of their realm. So if you bring some TikTok stuff that conflicts with them, they're gonna say it's false news. And or like even some
that's why it's important to know your history.
Exactly.
History is irrefutable.
Exactly.
History is irrefutable. That's why it's important. It's super important. Undeniably important to know about your history.
Weren't we talking about how slaves existed since the pyramidal times with Egypt and everything?
Slaves existed during the pyramids?
Right, yes. Like slaves always have existed since since even then, like Moses.
Yeah. You had slaves back then, but
who was Moses freeing? But slaves,
right?
So it's like you can't ignore the fact
that could be part of the Arabic slave trade.
Exactly. Because those are more Jerusalem based, and who does Jerusalem conflict with? Right. The Middle East, like the Arabic side of things, like Palestine and all that. And like that's the type of shit that they don't want you to know.
But also they also had a lot of indentured servitude over there on that side of the world compared to over here. It was rugged, raw slavery. There was indentured servitude over here too. Yeah, but it wasn't given to black people. Indentured servitude didn't exist for black people here. It was more for the Irish and for the Japanese and whoever the others that would come overseas to escape their garbage homeland.
They would discredit us versus them.
Right. So they would, and then. Because a lot of people like say, oh, well, the Irish were slaves too,
Yeah, exactly.
But no, they weren't slaves, first of all. They were indentured servants. And
there was agreements with them.
And what separates Irish from black slaves, right? From Irish slaves and black slaves, indentured servants. Indentured servants is what they were. Exactly. What separates the Irish from us is the fact that Irish people got paid. They got reparations in the form of freedom dues.
Yeah, exactly.
They got guns, land, and they got cash. Black people were promised that shit, and
never got it. And we're the only slaves that didn't get any reparations.
Right. And here's another point too that people are like, oh well, there was some black slave owners, but see. There was black slave owners that were buying their family members. Like a lot of that was black slave owners buying back their they were buying their family members so they could basically buy them and come with them so they'll be free. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. There was a lot more of that going on than black slave owners taking another black person.
How would you try to use that?
You know what I'm saying? No, it wasn't like that. It was more so on some like undercover finesse shit. Like
exactly. Why would you try to use that as a way to justify anything?
Because they're dumb.
It's ignorant racist.
They're racist. Bro.
They're deflecting the fact that it was like the first initial version of freedom.
Right.
It was to become that.
Right. like people that do that, like you said, man, it's a form of white supremacist thought process.
Yeah.
Like you're deflecting from you're bringing up a point to negate the truth of what history was. You know what I mean? Like,
it's facts. Damn.
Yeah. So, you know,
spot on, bro.
But yeah, Irish weren't. Their struggle was not black people's struggle in this country. That's a bunch of bullshit. When people like to use that as a crutch. So, you know, Irish were, man, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I know, exactly. It's their scapegoat. It's their scapegoat. And that's why, like
that's why y'all got reparations and we didn't.
And so
we're still trying to get it.
The Jewish people, everybody got their
Everybody got the government
except for us.
The U.S. government has paid every ethnic group except for the foundational ones that have been here and built this country from scratch. And like they haven't paid those people yet.
And here's my analysis of why. Because they know if we were together, we would be the most powerful group.
Dog.
By far.
Bro.
They know that. That's why they try to keep us the most against
each other.
Any other.
And they would rather us infight more than them infight. Like, for example, they'd rather... they encourage Africans and Black Americans to fight each other more so than themselves than Americans and let's say Russians fighting each other.
Exactly.
They try and they don't report on that as much. They try and minimize that shit. But when it's other black folks infighting, right? Oh, they're the first ones front row center reporting that shit. Got a camera.
Exactly. That's why that's why most of the news things is like, oh, another black man died by another black man. Right. That's why they want to put. They don't want to talk about all the white shootings, all the other racist,
all the white on white crime,
Asian on Asian crime, Hispanic on Hispanic crime. Exactly. They want to demonize the black people, so that stigma is always there.
Right.
And like I had to work in fucking BMW and Katie, and as a above average black male, dark skin complexion, and have to interact with these customers, and they automatically see me off the rip and think one thing until I open my mouth, and they're oh, he's one of the smarter ones. Just saying, that's what happens. Oh, you're more educated. You articulate yourself better.
See, I wish I want to reverse it on people like that. I'd be like, oh, so you're not one of the trailer park trash white folks? Oh, okay.
Right.
I want to see how they feel when the roles are reversed.
And then
I come up to you and I talk to you, and then you open your mouth. Oh, and then I reply saying, "Oh, you're not one of the Peckerwoods, or you're not one of the Spits, or you know what I'm saying?" Like, I'm just saying that's how they think. Like a lot of these, I'm not saying all white people. I'm not saying all Hispanics. I'm not saying all of every group.
I forgot what movie I heard Peckerwood.
American History X. Great fucking movie. I love that movie, by the way.
Peckerwood.
Yeah, the black dude, the comedian that was on there. Forgot his name, dog. You know who I'm talking about?
Yes, bro. Name? Because American History X is the one with the fucking nigga from Fight Club and all that shit.
Ed Norton.
Yeah, Norton. Yeah. So I know the movie, and like I remember that movie. It's a crazy movie, but deep.
That movie is great fucking movie. Off the chain.
Great movie.
It's a fantastic movie.
Deep movie, bro.
American History X is
man. They cover a lot of shit. That's a great movie, bro.
It's a great movie.
Yes, bro. I remember the first time I ever heard Peckerwoods was off of that movie, bro.
Right.
So I know the term. So that's why it's like one of those nostalgic moments. Yeah. I was like, oh shit, Peckerwoods.
Yeah.
I ain't heard that shit in years. Bro.
Yeah, but again, it's not all of them think like that. But you can get a sense.
Yes.
When one of those types of people walks up to you, you feel that energy.
I get it every day at work.
You can feel it.
I encounter at least once a time. Once every day at work, at least once.
Crazy.
One interaction is like that type of vibe. Like, oh, you don't really fuck with black people. you already have a predetermined
judgment. Right.
Just by how you're interacting with me, and like you don't know how to. And then when you hear me open my mouth, you don't even know how to take it. Like, oh, shit, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I thought this about black people until I met this black person, and I don't even know what I think anymore. But maybe what I thought I believed isn't true after all. Like they start having a revelation.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
before my very eyes.
Those types of people are hilarious.
I know.
You know,
those are the funniest. Those are the ones that actually lighten up my day. Like, damn, this motherfucker's so naive, dog. It just makes everything a little bit better. I know that there's these, just like it's still people like this that privileged, that ignorant at the same time.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's just a reminder.
It's like you said earlier, man. It goes back to what was said earlier. Every ethnic group has their trash.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that's just facts.
Yeah.
That's reality, man. Like every single ethnic group on the face of the planet has their garbage.
And I'll double down on that. Like, everywhere you go, there's evil people. Like most people are good, but there's evil people amongst all of the ethnicities, workspaces, gender, sexualities, age groups, all of that. There's always evil people in all of it. There's some fucked off black people, fucked off Africans. There's fucked off people wherever you work. There's some fucked off people too far gone there that have no good intentions. There's evil people everywhere. It's not like all white people are this way. There are evil white people. There are some legit, genuine ass white people. There's all races, all units, all of that shit. Like there's some gay people that are just too far gone and just like anti everything. But there's some gay people that are understanding and everything else. Trans, all that shit. Wherever fuck. There's majority. But
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
You just brought.
Yeah, just go ahead, bro.
What's your point? Yeah, it's a topic, a bullet point. What did you think about that shit that happened on the when Joe Biden did that speech?
Yeah, no, I sent my mom a thumbnail of that shit because like one of the people that I watch on YouTube reacted to that shit.
Yeah,
and he's a black guy. Yeah, he has a perspective like our perspective. Yeah, like what our perspective would be, and my mom doesn't address that until I bring it up. It's like she like my mom was like, she's not against the LGBTQ. Just like me,
right? But
she is against like the whole idea of pushing on kids or like making it mandatory.
Agreed.
And all that stuff.
Mandatory.
And like my mom would never have this conversation about it unless I bring up this tough conversation. My mom is like the pioneer, like the old head of modern feminists. Like I'm just gonna say that straight up, like because like my dad got sick before he passed, he got sick, and my mom had to step up. So she has that modern feminist mentality. She don't need a man. She even told me this the same week I sent that post. She was like, I don't need a man and all that shit. And I was like, damn, I'm hearing this from my 68-year-old mom that she don't need a man. And like men and women could survive without men. If men were, I gave her a hypothetical. If men were taken off this planet, you think like women would be just fine without men? And she was like, yeah, we don't need men. Nowadays, we got it. Like, you see how I had to step up? And I was like, so the phone you're using, the car we're driving, all this stuff, all the power lines and everything else, you're not even aware that it's the men that are holding this fucking world together to this point. And it's like, man, we will be able to survive. We just can't repopulate. We can't reproduce, of course. But we will survive just fine without women. But women would crumble within a week. And that was my whole point with that.
Controversial take.
Yeah, I know, right?
But it's the women on your ass.
I know they're gonna be, if they're not already. They're gonna be after this episode. But what was your point with that whole Joe Biden thing?
No, I just wanted to get your take on it. Like, I just want to see what you thought about it, because I thought it was very degenerate. I thought it was even if it was a straight woman up there just flashing her titties like in the middle of a presidential speech, like that's trash.
Did you hear about the dude that he was a Call of Duty streamer, but he was anti like pushing, because like they made a LGBTQ skin. Like, you know, on Call of Duty they come out.
I didn't know. Yeah, I know.
So they made so they made an LGBTQ skin, and you know, kids play Call of Duty. Right. So he was against that shit. He was like, I don't like this shit on games that just kids can play. And then they banned them. They banned the streamer. Wow. And he was a big streamer too. Especially, and his focal point was Call of Duty. He was a streamer, a Twitch streamer.
Wait, I heard there was a guy that signed like $100 million contract with
him. And that's the one I just posted, because like
that's him?
No, it's not the same guy. But that guy that signed that contract, another controversial thing that I am upset with is that his contract matches LeBron's contract with the Lakers. So he's getting paid 2 years, $97 million. What? 2 years. The number one Twitch streamer, his name is XQC. That's what his name is.
Why did he get that contract?
Because he joined a new thing called Kick. It's a new streaming platform. So he joins that streaming platform. They gave him 2 years, $97 million. And they said his contract matches LeBron James' current contract. What? And I'm like, and I made a post just now on Facebook before I got here. I'm like, streamers' contracts are matching pro athletes.
That's fucking.
Are you
insane.
fucking crazy?
That's
How is this? What is this world coming to that a nigga playing video games and talking shit is a comparison to LeBron James,
That's
who
crazy.
grinding, still grinding to that level.
Time out.
That's what I'm talking about.
How big is
It's on Bleacher Report. That's how bad it is.
How big is this platform, Kick? Is it like
Kick is like the Rumble. So Rumble is YouTube without the filters of worrying about being racist, or like it's like the most free speech platform. And Kick is like the most free speech platform with Twitch. Like, you can't say simp on Twitch because like you get banned for that, because a lot of e-streamers on Twitch need simps to pay for their shit.
Right.
So if you call them simps, that's a derogatory term towards the people that are funding these girls.
Right.
So it's the same shit with YouTube. That's why I say them boys. If we start talking about the people, if we start going in depth, we will get canceled. Because those are the powers that be. It's the hidden agenda behind it. But Kick, you could go and say whatever the fuck you want, talk whatever the fuck you want. There was a streamer that was getting head on Kick. He was getting head while he was streaming on Kick. You don't get banned for that. You don't get banned for that. But if you did that on Twitch, he got banned. He got banned. That's why he had to go to Kick.
That's crazy.
That's why he had to go to Kick. Because, like, you can't do that on Twitch. It was some IG model, bitch.
That's fucking hilarious.
Like, that's just an example.
That's
you can't,
funny as shit.
Like, there's levels of filters. And that's why, like, So, like, those streamers that are controversial go to those platforms. And these new platforms that are funded by Fortune 500 companies are...
So you mean to tell me that Kick is being funded by, like, a major corporation?
Yeah, it is.
That's why they're able to give such a fucking bogus, fat-ass contract like that.
Facts.
Because I was going to say, I've never heard of Kick.
Yeah, and you're like, how they have
that type of money to just give to somebody?
Powers that be are funding them. Those Fortune 500s that are run by the Rockefellers, the 1%ers that are running that shit, are funding them shit so that they can still control narratives to some degree. Even though it's like less filtered, but the people that are doing it think they're like, oh yeah, this is a new platform, I could be more myself, but it's still restrictions based off of who's funding it.
Right. I also want to say this about Jewish people: you won't get in trouble if you just speak history. That's why I say it's important to know history. Just if you know your history and you say something about Jewish people historically speaking, like for example, you say that there were Jewish slave owners, which is a fact. Then how am I going to get in trouble for? Why would I get in trouble for that?
Facts.
That's a historical fact,
and that's a lot.
You know what I'm saying? So there is a white there was and is a white supremacist Jewish sector in Jewish society that's racist. There's a racist sector in Jewish society that exists right now.
The Jeffrey Epstein.
You know what I'm saying? We don't necessarily know who they are, but they're there. Yeah. Okay. Let's not pretend like there's not racist Jewish people.
Like, that's why, like, when it comes to those conversations, because I don't know everything, but I know something. I don't want to say something incorrect because that's what they use as their leverage. Right. As soon as you say something incorrect, that's their reason to
I got you.
Falsify you and villainize you and shit.
That's why I'm gonna make sure you're gamed up. Man.
Yeah. That's why I say boys.
Yeah, that's why when
air quotes.
That's why I'm here. If you say something, I'll correct you.
And I know, like, whenever you actually speak up on it, you know what you're talking about, and that's why I let you go and do your thing. Yeah, but like that's why I don't elaborate on it, because like I only know so much. And I'm like, I know them boys be watching. That's why I call them them boys.
Nah, but just know your history, man. History is that's one thing that you can't like discredit is history, because history is history. It happened already, so you can't validate something that's already occurred. It already occurred. You can pull up the facts. You got receipts. You know, exactly.
History is always there.
Exactly.
It's facts, man.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy. Well, I would say yet again, we go a little bit over the time. We did our thing though. You see how time flies?
Be flying.
Fuck.
Fine.
Shit. Well, appreciate y'all. Y'all see the Recognized Entertainment merch right here too. We're gonna have more on the way. Appreciate y'all for being here. And we out.